One, two, 1, 2. So, I'm assuming this thing is working. What's up? This is Dave again. I am doing virtual co-working. What is virtual co-working, you ask? It is like co-working. If you don't know what co-working is, it's when you're a freelancer, you work for yourself, or you're an entrepreneur, and you work at home in your home office, and there's no one around. And you do this for a few years, and you start going crazy. And so then what you start doing is you start looking for a space where there's other people, other entrepreneurs, other freelancers who just like to work in the same place. Maybe you've done this yourself in a coffee shop, going there with your laptop and hanging out for hours and hours and hours and paying for only one tiny cup of coffee because you just want to be around people but don't necessarily need to talk to them. But sometimes it's good to be around people who are doing things that you find interesting and having their energy perk you up because you see them working and then you're working, and then maybe while you're getting a refill of your cup of coffee, you just talk a little bit and you get some insights into things, or you show someone something you're working on. So that's what co-working is. Virtual co-working is me streaming this out to the internet to whoever is going to be watching, and just hanging out. I wouldn't say that this is the sort of thing that you would just watch from beginning to end, but I do know some people watch these, and people who know me, and they watch me to just kind of have me on the background. I don't know why it works, but it also happens to work well for me because it puts me more in a focused state. And it's harder to take a nap when you're streaming, which I really feel like doing right now. I mean, I don't feel like doing. I don't want to. I don't want to take the nap, but there's a big danger of taking a nap. So I'm going to go to the regular chat thing. And it looks like, hey, Kid Lee is back. Knows what co-working is. Hooray. And let me check to make sure the sound is good. That sounds good. Let me switch to the monitor here. So, oops, I just dropped my whole monitor setup. I need to really glue that thing down. So I'm just going to check audio here. This whole thing is broken now. Great. Test, 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 test. I don't even hear it. Test, test, test. Monitor levels are good. Doesn't look like I'm clipping on anything. I guess I could boost the gain a tiny, tiny bit. Boost the mid-range, and I could do a little bit of FX sending from FX select return. Now I am in a hollow hallway. It's almost like I'm in a monastery. I suppose if I put a monastery thing in the background, that would be good. But we're going to turn that off because that's not necessary. If I wanted a little bit of a radio voice, I would turn this on just a little bit. Maybe that much. It has a tiny, tiny bit of resonance. Tiny, tiny. So that's with a little bit. That's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of it. But actually, that might not have been coming. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. This is the FX return. This is it completely dry, and this is it with a little wetness. You can just hear it just a little bit at the end. Well, I'm going to dial it down and back a little bit. So, what are we going to work on? Don't need these anymore. This just helps me dial in the level so I know it's coming into the stream nicely. Something it took me forever to figure out how to do. And I suppose I should pick up that thing I just dropped. I can just move this over. So we're getting ready to do some work. What are you guys working on? So I am going to work on my Groundhog Day resolutions. And what are Groundhog Day resolutions? They are my yearly plan. And I can pull up some... I guess I should just pull up what I'm working on here. So in my docs DS folder, this is the public folder where people in the chat room over at davisa.com/discord can see all the notes that we've been keeping for ourselves. Who is this? Clearing the decks. DRC? What is this? Oh, someone edited this. Good. What does clearing the decks mean to you? Someone must have referred to this someplace. So here's my productivity system design. And I had a printout of this someplace. This is the system that I was going to work on. But I also have... where would that be? That would be my regular docs folder, I think. Or not. What was the... Let's go back into co-work. That's the productivity product. There is something else though that was for specifically for this. It was maybe this is the document. This is a list of all the Groundhog Day resolutions posts I've made since 2007. So this is year 12. Year 12 of this. And I had the bright idea of going back and looking at all of these. There is a specific year, though, that I went back and looked at the past 7 years of what I was doing, and I think it was out this. It was A Quiet Reflection Upon Failure in 2012. Yes, this is the 7-year anniversary of my blog-driven freelance design shot at the big time. In 2005, I'd lucked into blogging, finding it agreeable and rewarding. And with the modicum of recognition I've gained from my productivity tool designs, I thought, hey, maybe I can turn this into an awesome, passionate life. Maybe I should find out. I've written 1,700 posts spanning over 1 million words, according to the word-counting plugin I just installed. 7 years is long enough to complete a PhD program, and this has put me in a reflective mood. What have I learned? What have I contributed to my field of knowledge? Or have I spent the last 7 years to earn a de facto degree in navel gazing? I'm already thinking that. Why isn't this italic? That would be better. No, 7 years. The 2012. That was 6 years ago. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So this was the post that I made that was really assessing if I'd done anything purposeful with the past 7 years of my life. And I think I came out of it. Oh, there's more parts to this. I didn't get all of these in the document. I need to make sure those are in. This is the summary. Good for me for actually making this collection, anticipating that I might want to do that. I think this one goes here. So part of the planning process today is going to be, I should read the summary. That's the summary. This is the, what is this one? There's no title on this. This is a page. Why is there no title? Let me just make sure that there is one. Waiting for davidsay.com. Why is it not loading? Oh, I should put on my my cool hat. There is a title on it, but why is it not displaying it? It's so warm. Maybe my head's been cold. Maybe that's why I've not been so productive. Okay, now it's showing up. What's up with that? That's strange. I don't like that. This is the conclusion, part 4. That's probably the one I should just read. The other ones maybe I don't have to. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Anyway, where was I in this? This was the big list of things. And I suppose I want to do some playing. But there was one thing I wanted to do before this, which is I wanted to set up a GoPro and watch that new beanbag thing start expanding. That might be cool. That was an idea that Dom had. So I have my GoPro here, and I don't actually remember how to set up the streaming for it. So let's take a look. Why don't we? This is the GoPro. This is a Hero 5 that I traded. Did a trade-in on an old broken one. I think, does it need to be charged? This has that mysterious interface, which... Okay, it's on. I think there's a GoPro app. The battery is 70%. How do I set these modes on it? So this is photo mode, burst mode, time-lapse photo. That's what I want. Can I literally just point it at something and press the shutter? So I just need to mount it on something then. Do I have a mount for it? Looks like here's a... This looks like it'll work. Seems to be missing a part, though. Oh, I see. Or do I? Isn't there supposed to be another part for this that goes here? Or is this it? That looks like it slides onto something. Oh, I see. You unscrew this whole thing. And does this just pop out? It just pops off. There's a captive nut. That's good. And I just put this back on, I think. And how does it go? Like this. I screw it on like that. Oh, it's not going to fit. It's threading poorly. I put it on backwards. Or is it just a piece of junk? Possibly it's a piece of junk. I don't want to strip the thread on it. This isn't working. No, this is a junk attachment. Is there another one I have? It's not as captive, but it's threaded wrong. Maybe this is a piece of Chinese junk. What did I just do with that thing? This is the original one. I think it uses a different threading standard. This one fits fine. Probably this is... I should just throw this out because this is going to ruin something. So I don't have it doesn't look like I have the right attachment. I was hoping that I would have a nice 3/4 or 1/4 20 nut for this. I guess I could put it on this. And there's no attachment on the bottom. There's no screw on that. This is the original. I guess this is a slide mount. Maybe that's the idea of it. You can just put it on the box, maybe. Maybe that'll work. So the idea is to make this, again, to make a cool time lapse. I can just get this on there. No, nothing's working. There we go. I guess I need to buy some sort of fancy mount for this at some point. Oh, I just put it on backwards too. I'm failing at life. I don't... I can see I have some GoPro accessory hunting to do. This is a curved thing. I hope these... I don't even know if these are the right accessories. That other accessory is probably from the old one. Yeah, these look like cables. Yeah, these are all glue mount or sticky mount things. I really just want to quarter a nice mount for the camera. Oh wait, this looks like it has one on the bottom. Will this work? Yeah. Yeah, there's a nice 1/4 20 on that. So I think I can just slide this on if this is compatible, which it might not be actually. Oh, it works. Yes, now we can use a mount. So let's get this thing over and point someplace where you can see where it's going. All right, so what I want to do is somehow put this camera somewhere here on a tripod and point it at this thing. Okay, I have a tripod someplace. Yeah, here it is. And we'll just set this up over here. Ouch! My arm is still screwed up. Something's wrong with my elbow. It hurts when I try to do something with it. I move this over here a bit. You can see what is going on. Still, the whole thing starts swinging. Gets this tripod going. Oh, this is using a... Damn it, this has a plate mount on it. Where is the plate? That's what I get for not having a cheap tripod. I don't want to attach it from the bottom of the camera. I should buy an extra one. Actually, where is the mount for this? Is this it? I could swear I had another plate. This is a universal plate. What happened to my other one? I guess I can find it. So I'm looking for an attachment that works with that tripod so I can stick the GoPro on top of it. And it's been a while since I've seen that attachment, so I'm not actually sure it is. So I am going to check. A little stuff that's in the way. And I'll check this camera bag. Try not to fall down the stairs and die. And I'm sorry, kitty. You look very comfortable. This is where I generally have all of my camera attachments. Oops, didn't mean to put that on you. Oh, here's that gooseneck. Where would it be? If it's not in here, I'm not sure where it would be. Up there. It's actually a pretty important piece of gear. Unless that was it. Now what's this? Oh, I forgot I had that. That should be elsewhere. See a bunch of other brackets. What is this? Oh, there's a whole bunch of GoPro accessories in here too. I should take these all out. I'm not seeing the bracket I'm looking for though. Where would I have put it? So I found a bunch of these other ones. I'm not going to take that one off the bottom because that's not the right one. Let me check my camera accessories drawer. Just make sure it's not in here. I don't see it there. I have this thing. These are the accessories. Oh, here it is. Yes. I should put this in the camera bag here. So this is a bag that's basically full of like various adapters and other gewgaws. So this I can put on the bottom of this, I think. So this is the original adapter plate for the Manfrotto tripod I have. And it screws on the bottom like so. And then I'm going to put it on the end of this. Like so. If I have this connected correctly. Have it backwards. I screwed it up. Oh, it should go like this. There, so it's nice and locked in place. And it's backwards, but I guess that's alright. So now, how to turn this is on every 0.5 seconds. Can I change that? So now I'm just trying to figure out how this thing works. Ugh. So this is video, photo, burst, time lapse. Oh, this is a touch screen on it, doesn't it? And we're going to set the interval to, I guess, every 30 seconds. I think that's enough. Maybe even more. Every minute, because it doesn't look like a lot is happening there. Alright, and I'm going to change the field of view to linear or medium. It's actually a nice interface, so I'll put this over here. And let me crunch this thing down. And we'll see if it expands. Okay, I think it's going now. 60 seconds. Alright, so hopefully a video emerges from that, assuming that that doesn't run out of power. Alright. Hope you're happy, Dom. Okay, so I'll just put a note there. Okay. Time lapse. Figure it out. I think. So that only took, what, 15 minutes to do? This hat is amazing. I love this hat. Is this what it's like to have hair? Don't answer that. I probably won't like the answers. Alright, so I'll put all this stuff back in here. I am going to have to find a bigger box for all these other accessories. So I have, like, these things in here. This looks like a clamp. I can just put on the end of the table. This is a head mount, it looks like. And this is like a gooseneck. So some content going on there. And I guess I'll just leave this with the rest of the stuff. All this stuff has a home in my bookshelf, so at least it'll be in the same place. And I'll have to figure out a better container for this stuff. But at least it'll be in in the same place, which is what the important thing. Let's put this back here. If it will fit. It will not. Reorganize this area a bit. Okay. Ugh, I can't make a yucky thing. Alright. Now for the exciting part is to actually get planning. Alright, and so we're going to be planning over here. Let's adjust this. And I am going to do Groundhog Day resolutions. Oops, crap. This thing fell down. I'll turn on this. Come on, wake up. Why is it switching this input? Did the Macintosh turn off? No. I'm having this TV in the background because the brightness of this actually helps adjust the automatic gain control for this camera. You can see, I don't know if you just noticed that my face suddenly faded out. That's the problem with the setup. So by controlling the amount of background stuff that's going on, that helps with the exposure of the face, because I can't lock the exposure on this camera, which is driving me nuts. Ugh. So what else do I need for this? Take a drink. Diet Moxie. A drink that most people can't stand. So I'm getting, what am I getting? I just auto-piloted to the kitchen. I'm kind of hungry, I guess. Did I eat today? I ate a piece of toast. I've been trying to figure out how to poach eggs. I tried yesterday again, and when I drop the egg in, it just turns into this big fluffy cloud. I'm supposed to stir the bottom of the pot while it's boiling, but it occurred to me maybe it wasn't the bottom of the pot that I'm stirring. Maybe it's the top bubbles that I'm trying to break up. But anyway. Oh, right. I'm looking for my my notebook. I'm looking for this thing. So that's my working thoughts notebook. Let's set this camera up again so it is positioned correctly. And let's drop this down a bit. I think that's all right. That's good enough. Can move this over a bit. All right. I am going to open up my timesheet now. Okay, Lee's saying, I haven't watched the YouTube tutorials yet for poaching eggs. You poach in the frying pan, it's too shallow to stir just the bottom or top. You can make the water current hold the egg. Yeah, maybe my swirling wasn't swirly enough. I guess you want to get it moving fast enough. I'll have to watch a YouTube video on how to poach these eggs. They are mysterious. So I was hoping it would congeal into this one thing, but maybe there is some escaping that happens. Oh, you drop in the stream. So not in the center, you put it in the stream and it kind of gets carried around? Huh. That's really interesting. It's fascinating how much technique is involved in things that you would think would be simple. Doing Groundhog Day planning myself, figuring it out. I was typing in the chat room over here. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, right, I was going to make my timesheet. So let me see if I can pull that up. Opening up Excel. I'm doing this off screen because well, I could show it once it pops up. Just open the file for. Let's see, it's this file. That thing. There it is. So this is my timesheet. I keep it in Excel. So the nice thing about it is Wednesday. I didn't actually do any work, billable work yesterday. So now it's February 1st. Thursday. It is almost 3 o'clock. I was just going to call it 3 o'clock. That's weird what happened there. I want to see how long this takes. In the past, it's taken up to 8 hours. I would like to do it in less than 8 hours, but I don't know if that's really possible. Let's get this thing off the screen. So Kidley's going back to the topic of poaching eggs. So Kidley is saying the flatness of the saucer drops it in gently. So you don't want to plop it in, huh? You just want to really slide it in smoothly, huh? I think I plopped mine in. So it's all the secret technique for doing the simplest of things, you know? How do you put an egg into water? There's like tricks to it. All that stuff I find really fascinating. But anyway, let's go to camera 2 and start thinking about what we're doing. Actually, I'm going to split between screen and aux. No, that's not the right one. I thought I had aux screen that was more. I guess this is the one that has a work. But I can't see the chat window, so I'll just go back to aux. Alright, so I really should make an aux plus screen layout. So is it showing up? How come this is sagging? I need to move this up a bit. Oh, it is sagging. That's why it's so low. Let's wake up the Mac a little bit. Is this mouse working? Where'd it... Oh, there we go. I have another little mouse for this. So actually I can actually put something on this screen. And I did put the acceleration killer on it though. Actually I can't type on that side. Is there something I want to put on this screen to look at? I guess I wonder if I can go to the same docs DS cowork. SA.com docs DS cowork. Because it might be handy to have it on this giant screen behind me. Please verify it's me. Oh, I don't have any. They don't have any personal account stuff on here. I guess I will ignore that then. I didn't install 1Password on this yet. I'll do that later. Alright, so I'll just have to use this thing. Let's get that set up a little bit more correctly. Alright, maybe I might need a lamp too. It is a little dark here. Okay. Let's see. Well, this is the basis of things. So we're going to figure out how to plan the Groundhog Day resolutions. And I'm just going to think out loud because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. This is year number 12 of Groundhog Day resolutions. Doesn't mean I've figured out exactly how to do it. I change it up a little bit every year. This is like weird at this angle. Let's see if we can move this. You have to straighten that out a bit. Alright, so Groundhog Day. Resolutions. One thing I do with my notebook is I write a title on the top of every page because that often helps me remember what I'm doing. I have a tendency to be a little bit scatterbrained. So controlling my attention requires having physical, visual things in my field of view to remind me. In fact, this is why I write a lot. I write a lot to linearize my thinking, otherwise my thoughts tend to skip around. So Groundhog Day resolutions. So now that I've written that down, I probably need to have a few questions. If I have a few questions to ask, then that helps focus my thinking further. Let's see. Go back over here. Let's see. Checking the chat room, nothing's going on there. Is this hat starting to itch? Or am I starting to itch? I hope I'm not allergic to this hat. Because I like it so much. Oh, it's this, it's the microphone thing that's chafing at my ears. That's what it is. Alright, some questions. Groundhog Day resolutions. There's going to be... I'm just going to write out the dates. 2233... 4 is this even showing up? 5 6 7 8 9 6 6 7 7 8 8 9 9 10 10. Damn it! 11 11, and then there is 12 12. Typically, 7 7. That's a reassessment. This first 3 months, that's a critical review period. That's a critical review period. This is another critical review. Every 3 months seems to be a good time to kind of assess how well this has been going. Let me move this camera over here. It's a little bit. There, it's better. Reassess what I'm doing every time. What was last year's Groundhog Day resolutions review thing? Let's take a look. Last year, oh, this is now coming in handy. Last year's summary. I don't think I did a summary. Let's take a look at this. I said let's take a look at this. This is November. This isn't December. Strange. Did I click on the wrong one? Yeah, I guess I did. Oh, right, I had made a... because it's hard for me to remember what I did. Let me just, like, scan this real quickly. Time to do a preliminary recap of the progress. I had two major realizations. Desire for improved connection with people had a subtly poisonous aspect. I was looking for reliable sources of quality interaction, but it subconsciously allowed it to become a wish for affirmation and feedback. I don't know if that's clear. It's good to connect with people, but if I'm connecting to people because I expect affirmation from them, even subconsciously, that's not a good reason for it. The second one, childhood feelings of being an outsider still lingered in the form of an absolutist fallacy, in which I thought that people who were not 100% matches in goals and focus could not connect meaningfully with me because they thought they would not like what I was doing in a heartfelt way. I was saying these were unproductive attitudes. So, I'm not... So I think I'm saying, I'm going to try to reduce this paragraph into some sort of action term. Maybe I did it later. The report. Job description. I've always disliked working by myself. That's an important thing. So, on this thing, let me write some stuff down that I know are important for this year. Happy mobile time. HBT. This is an undirected exploration to discover useful bits or make kind of discoveries or make I'll call this packaged understanding. Maybe another way of putting it is a nugget hunt. Kind of looking for gold nuggets. And that could be experience, like, oh, I really like Diet Moxie. I didn't know that. I should get this all the time. Or, you know, these Choco Nuts, I keep buying them, but I always hate them. What are these things anyway? Ugh. I don't know if you've ever had one of these. This is Choco Nut. I think it's from the Philippines. I got this at the Asian market. And it's kind of a powdery chocolate mess. It's not even chocolate. It's more like a peanut-based thing with cocoa in it. It's like a primordial candy. I keep thinking they're going to be chocolate, but they're this powdery thing. It's sugar, peanuts, and cocoa. And not even that much cocoa. Ugh, I'm going to have a sugar crash. Oh, did I take my medicine today? I did not. Let me get that out of the way. I'm in the kitchen getting my blood sugar and blood pressure medicine. I shouldn't be eating that sugary stuff. I need to go grocery shopping. Excuse me. All right. I am kind of hungry. All right, that's out of the way. As you can see, I'm kind of ramping up slowly on my productivity mode here, but as so long as I keep writing stuff down here, I'll be able to eventually I'll hit a point where I know what I'm doing. Can adjust these slightly uncomfortable positioning. Let me move some stuff out of the way. I'm storing the smoker inside because the cover for this disintegrated. You probably can't see it here. This is down here under the desk. So I'm going to move it out of the way temporarily. Actually, while I'm out here, I'm going to see if this thing is actually taking pictures or not. It's already down to 50%. This battery sucks. wonder if I can... There's a power outlet there somewhere. But we'll see. Why did GoPro with batteries suck so much? Okay, we're back. Okay, so now I can actually get under this sofa, or this desk, a little bit better than before. I'll move this so it's a little bit more convenient for me to reach over to. It's nice to have this thing on a cart. So HBT was part of it. What else was part of it? I dislike working by myself. These are key insights that I did not have last year. I thought that since I'm seen to be fine, like having a solo entrepreneurial existence, that I was fine working by myself, but it turns out that I don't. I think that's why the streaming stuff seems to help, because like even though I don't know who's watching, sometimes people do watch it, and it feels like I am at least connecting with somebody. Where was that? I was over here. Let's see. And you know, the goals overall are to do fulfilling creative work that pays for itself, pays for stuff. Those were the original 3 directives from February. This is last year's goals. Let me rewrite them, because although they're not really specific, so I probably need to figure out how to change them. For Groundhog Day resolutions, so 1, I'll write those longhand. Do 1. Do fulfilling creative work that pays for household expenses and research interests. Number 2, have regular energizing connections. Have regular energizing. These are less goals, I know, than they are my formula for being happy. Because I had to further define these things into actual actions. Share what I discover, learn, and create with people that have compatible values, principles, and research interests. Now, each of these words is chosen rather carefully. Note that I didn't say compatible interests. What I'm saying there is compatible research interests. Compatible interests is fine if you're just hanging out, but for me to be in the state of mind where I am doing my best work, which I think is important, that's probably something I should write down. Do my best work. You want to be hanging around people who are actually serious about those interests. So another way of putting it is, are you a producer or are you a consumer of that interest? So I might be interested in Star Wars, and that might mean I want to buy as much Star Wars stuff as possible. That's consuming. I may watch as many Star Wars movies or read Star Wars books. I'm even like, well, And that's my way of feeding that interest. However, I want to be a producer of things. In the Star Wars context, it would be, I am going to construct my own lightsaber. Or I am going to cosplay as that big dude from Rogue One. Something like that. So you're making something. It's important to be making stuff for me because that's, I think, the measure by which I judge my own competence. And that's something I need to write down too. So I'm making little star things here. I need to overcome this ancient competence anxiety. Overcome. Let me make sure I'm seeing. And what is a competence anxiety? When I was a kid, I used to think I was really stupid because people would make me feel stupid because I didn't know the rules of soccer, or because I looked Asian in white America, or when I was in Taiwan, I acted too American to be fit into that culture and didn't speak the language. I had some. I tend to take people at face value. If they tell me something, if they tell me with a degree of competence, I believe that they are competent, even though I don't imagine how they. Well, I may not understand why they are so confident in what they know, but I assume they do, and I compare that to my lack of confidence in the subject matter, at least what I used to, and go, wow, that person must be so much better than me, and they act like it too, and so I will listen to them. Generally, I've found that this is not true. People are faking things. True competence I can recognize now, and so I have tried to live up to that. But at the same time, I'm always wondering if I'm doing things right. I have grown much more confident in following a process like the way I'm doing right now. Yep. And knowing that I'll get a result. But I have to, if I'm not paying attention, I will be blindsided by my own lack of confidence. Turn this thing off. I don't think I need it. Yeah. Actually, I should swing it around to the other side. So watching out for this whole competence thing is an important thing to do. Overcome, be aware. The other one I was mentioning was connect with people to share and enjoy, not for affirmation. I think that's an important, like, anti-toxic directive as well. I'm going to adjust something on this lamp over here so I can swing it over this one up there. Is it showing up? Yeah, you can just barely see it. I can walk over to the other side. There's a little adjustment here. It doesn't rotate very clearly. Oh, shit. Not a captive nut. Ugh. What is causing it to stick? It's actually locked in place? No. Poor design? Maybe it's not designed to even be in there all the time. Screwing it back in. I think there must have been like a thing there. So I can swing this around now, and I can turn this on and have it shine over here, which might be better. No, I'm not sure it's really better or not. If anything, it's causing a... Well, at least I can see it now. I'm tempted to go futz with the lights that are up there, but... sorry if it's hard to see. This angle's not so bad either. Let's move this camera over here. Actually, maybe if I do it like this, that's a little bit better. Although now this does... I had to push this back. Now it's hitting a cable. Damn it. What's these fucking cables? Yeah, I think that could work. I didn't know if I had the room for this before. And this purple cushion is like terrible. It's not rigid enough. And the base plate. It's one of those things I saw advertised on Facebook. I thought it was a good idea. But it turns out that they're not that great. And I wish I had automatic gain control over this camera. Annoying. Annoyed by everything now. Okay, so again, if you're just tuning in, I am putting together my Groundhog Day resolutions. I'll put them in the chat. So let's see, continuing to work on my Groundhog Day resolutions. Continuing to work on my Groundhog Day resolutions. Resolutions. Getting unstuck. Talking out loud to think things through. Hopefully that updates over there. Looks like it is. Let's do a quick sound check. See if I think I hear myself. No dropped frames. That's great. So this unsticking is taking a while, huh? 51 minutes. How long has this been going on? Another thing I need to add is the lack of time awareness. So I officially started at 3 o'clock. It's only been 15 minutes. It feels like it's been 6 hours. Such is the nature of the resistance. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, so I'm looking at the screen over here. Started at this. I could break this down more granular. It's weird. I'm getting an error with the... there it goes. Start Groundhog Day's playing. It's getting unstuck. I think I'm starting to get unstuck now, but let's go for a little bit for longer. Groundhog Day resolutions. I should probably put up something here on the chat so people know what we're talking about. So I'm going to change the caption here. Virtual coworking. Groundhog Day resolutions planning. Live thinking out loud process / virtual and coworking. And as I'm doing this, for people are dropping in and wondering what we're doing. Actually, maybe designing goals for the year and co-working. Okay, so if people tune into this, they can see what the hell we're talking about. That's why I don't recommend people watch these, because there's not really anything going on. We're just hanging out. Let's shake this so it wakes up. Alright, I was checking the chat room to see what's going on in here. Anything interesting? That let people know. Convert, that's the key. So I'll post this on my link dump. Oh, thanks for posting the link, Vicky. Oh, people are commenting me on the hat. Let's help let people know. Oh, I'm not even sharing the screen. I got the hat on Amazon. Alright, I guess I took a little mini break. Let's see, let's go back to chat, or the camera view. Back to Groundhog Day resolutions. Oh, well, let's look at this article again. I've done pretty well, but one is where I think I'm underperforming. That really is true. This is what I really want to be doing. Or really, this is essential. And when I say essential to have money for the means to live. This is the one I've been stuck on. So in fact, if I go back to the very first Groundhog Day resolutions thing, let's see what my first goal was. I think it was probably the same thing, which is one reason why I've been like so grumpy about 11 years of not making ostensibly any progress. So here, year 2000 and this is not the right. Why does it keep taking me to the wrong link? What does this suck? What happened to the that's review day. Where's the first one? It looks like it moved it. This piece of shit. That's a really finicky UI. So this is the original post from 2006. Making Groundhog Day a habit. This is the original schedule. It turns out quite a few holidays fall on the doublet days. Groundhog Day, Cinco de Mayo, Tanabata, which is the Japanese Star Festival, Chinese Father's Day, because Ba, which is 8/8. That sounds like Papa, right? Veterans Day in the United States. I don't think December 12th is a holiday, but probably it should be. So this is okay. These are the original 3 Groundhog Day resolutions. Commit to deriving income from writing and making stuff. Build sustainable social networks. So let me see what I actually said. For number 1, commit to deriving income from writing and making stuff. I love making and learning stuff because I love writing about the experience. That's true. It's not so much about the making and learning stuff, but it's because I like to write. I like sharing it, basically. Continuing, the reason why is that I like to believe anything is possible if I put my mind to it. Yeah, that's probably something I should get over too. And it's a lot easier to believe in that if I believe everyone else can do it too. Can I make a living from practicing this? I want to find out. 11 years later, I'm not sure, which is irritating. Second, build sustainable social networks. My working theory is that social networks are built on observable points of interest, which become the gateways for communication. Okay. I'm saying that if you can see it, you can talk about it. In other words, the more you can show, the more people you're likely to meet. The biggest challenge is how to maintain networks, given the finite energy I have, being an introvert and all. A true network will generate its own energy and sustain itself because the nexus points become natural conversation enablers. So my second resolution is to build a working model of this. And looking back in the past 11 years, I actually have gotten better at that. 3, sell a product this year. Yeah, this was 2007. The first product I sold was 2 years after this. As I said, I am drawn to the idea of making a product that I can sell. There is no reason for it. I could make a perfectly fine living working at a company with awesome people, or, well, I could then, now maybe not, or continue to do freelance work on a contract basis, which I still am doing. I am finding, though, that being a creator of things people can actually hold is enormously pleasing. It feels like something primal, but it's possible that this is merely curiosity. Huh. Is it true? 11 years later, is it true? Do I like making things that people can hold? Is it primal? I don't know. I'm not sure what I mean by merely curiosity. And continuing. For example, I found that once I had taught a class, my interest in doing that as a career diminished considerably. In any case, I need to find out. I think everything else that's on my mind, like meeting a nice girl, getting healthier, finding the right business and creative partners, will come in alignment if I get these three things moving. Why? They represent the development of a new personal infrastructure, and they will get me closer to finding my sense of vocation. When that happens, I think I'll be in an overall stronger position. I think I need to quote this entire section, because I can do a year 12 review of this. In fact, it would be interesting to compare each of the New Year's resolutions for each year. All right, so let's set that up in Quiver. So Quiver, Groundhog Day Resolutions 2017. Let's make a new notebook. I'll keep it in the same notebook. It's too bad I can't have folders in this. Or can I? Did they add that feature? It would be nice. Nope, I guess not. Let's see. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to make this 2018 GHDR review. Make sure I don't have another one for this. The past, because I'm trying to find patterns, the past 11 years of GHDR goals. So this is 2007. It's unfortunate it didn't keep the formatting. This is going to be quite wordy, I think. I might have to do this in Scrivener. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this in Scrivener. Sorry, Quiver. You're falling short in this case. So let's open Scrivener. Can I make a new blank? What are these miscellaneous things? Script writing, nonfiction, paper. What is this? Fiction, blank. It's like Chicago. I'm curious what these look like. Let me just see what the MLA paper. And I need to put this someplace that is... Where do I keep journals of this type? Maybe my Dropbox folder and personal journals. Groundhog Day Resolutions. GHDR 2018. This is like a template. It's been set up. Okay, this is just literally some... Let's remove all of these. Can I remove them? You see the delete? Maybe it's under... How do I delete these? Can I not? No, I can't move that to trash because there's stuff in it. Maybe I can't remove the top level ones. Move the trash. I still can't move that to trash. Let's just make a new file. Blank. I guess I have a template. Who's popped in? Let's see. Oh, hey, Courtney. You're on the stream, you know. Okay, just warning. Okay. So I'm doing my Groundhog Day resolutions right now, and I'm live streaming it and figuring out how I'm going to plot this. Right now, I'm setting up a Scrivener document to do a year-by-year review of how my goals have changed for the past 11 years. Oh, and Vicky's in here too. Do you think you could change your mic to push to talk or mute it, because I'm hearing a lot of breathing noises coming in? Oh, Courtney, or just reduce your microphone sensitivity, maybe that might help. That's better. Don't know what you did, but it stopped. So if you want to ask a question, feel free to ask it. I'm just trying to reduce the amount of noise that's coming into the stream. Let's see. What was I doing? I'm building the Scrivener thing. And I'm going to make a blank. I can just double click this. And it'll be this file, create it. I want you to replace that. And I think, oh good, it's defaulted to my regular setup. So, let's call this review, or I guess this is actually research, right? 11 years of GHDR goals. At least I'll keep all the formatting. Oh, I can do the sub thing too. Alright, I'm already liking this. So this is 2007. And we can make a whole bunch of these now. 2008. 2009. 2010. This is awesome. I'm so happy. 2013. Let's fill in these first ones. So here's the ones from 2007. I just pasted them right out of the blog and it maintained all the formatting, which is nice. And let's go back. So that was 2007. Let's go back now to the original one. This one. I just hovered on it without clicking on it, which seems to make the difference. Here I spelled groundhog with 2 words. For the longest time I wasn't sure how I was going to spell it. So here's, I had the last year's goals. I think, what is this? This is a tag. That's the wrapping up the year. For 2008, my goals are largely the same business-wise, but I don't feel the need to set them as my Groundhog Day resolutions because the change has already been set in motion. I totally want to continue to make things, shift toward independent content creation, and meet as many awesome people as possible. I've already shifted my development environment to a laptop. Oh, that was a long time ago. So I can theoretically work anywhere in the world, becoming a digital nomad, so to speak. Though I have yet to finish my current commitments for 2008 before I really explore that option. So this year I want to choose some resolutions that are related to future mobility. Pillar 1, reputation, financial resources, chutzpah, and personal creative goals. Okay. Let's go back to Scrivener, and this will be 2008. Oops, I'm missing some stuff. We'll put that whole paragraph in the front. No, why? No! There. What? What happened? What is with this janky, janky formatting? That's the reason why I stopped using Scrivener, was because of this janky formatting. But I just repasted it. Janky! Oh, it does that too. Let's make it a little easier to read them for me. Oh, why did it put a double space there? That's 2008. So when I assemble all this stuff together, I'm thinking I'll be able to see some patterns that I have not been seen to date. 2009. This is kind of exciting. Last year's debacle that goes playing encountered month after month of failed progress. This got to be pretty damn depressing. By an epiphany 11 regarding a master resolution as a root of it all. What was that epiphany? I don't remember. Fractal patterns of perceived failure and recovery. Oh, I read this thing about Charles Schultz. The pantheon of extreme. See a lot of parallels between. For all insecure, persevered and consistently produced work day in, day out. My own belief that producing tangible things is a means to create opportunities and connections with people similar. Schultz belatedly matured, growing out of his boyish ways as he took on responsibilities, and WW2 became a well-liked squad leader. I had forgotten that, because of his intelligence, competence with weapons, and ability to listen to people who learned they could come to him. This is a model of leadership that I liked. Commitment to excellence, pursuit of deeper truths. Thank goodness I bolded these things. What was my this is that WordPress screwed up formatting thing. One of their plugins screwed all the formatting up for half my posts. Angry. Here's the seek the truthful essence and make it artfully visible so others can see it too. Okay. That was in 2009. Master. This is a master resolution. Let me go back and get the other stuff. The master function begets a master goal. This is I don't feel that I really latched onto this. I don't remember why I'm thinking that. Oh, I actually didn't write the goals here. Here's it. Why does this happen? He's okay. That wasn't the actual. That was not the actual thing. Maybe when did I do it? I talked about the resolution process. That's the kickoff. That's the process. I should probably put this in. Maybe I waited till March. Let me actually. That's that. What's this? Ugh. This is actually an interesting process document. I should review this. This is back when I thought that I was interested in pretty girls, too. Let's see. I'm going to put this up here somewhere because I think it's worth noting. This is what this is 2009. Oops. So insert it here. I'm going to guess I did them on March 3rd instead. You can see why these take so long. I could try short-circuiting it and just say, these are the resolutions, let's do it, but I'm trying to construct a good framework for the year. And I think this kind of in-depth review is good in general for figuring out important truths. Because I tend to work based on principles. Defining my Groundhog Day resolutions, last random report of the year, first define a vision. This is a good summary. Let's see, yep, that's my step 1 and 3. To live a meaningful life. I declared 1. That's the year I tried hiring a personal assistant. Oops. Didn't really work out just because you need to be in. You had to be working every day, I think. For me anyway, it's important to have that level of conversation to talk about stuff every day. It turned out I was really bad at outsourcing things to be done. I suppose I could do it now if I committed to the time being conversation time. So someone who is really at the same level of experience that I am would be important. But then those kind of people tend to be super busy with their own stuff, so that's a problem again. One can of Moxie down. Alright, so that, I guess that turned out that was the goal for the year. That was a slight change. So what did I do in 2010? 2010 was an important year. That was like a milestone year for me and my friend Erin. So Erin like wanted to have an interesting life. She has a really interesting backstory too. You know, she was like, she got married really young, had 3 kids by the time she was like 19 or something, 20 something. Then she got divorced then, and then she raised them all by herself somewhere in central Texas or North Texas. And then, you know, so she had, I don't know if she had even graduated from high school, you know, but she got away from like the dude that was being like, you know, not cool, and raised those kids, got training in all things computer help desks, and just kept going from company to company, getting more and more experience, teaching her all this stuff that she didn't know, and now is like an expert in it, which is like one of the most amazing and down to earth people that I know. This was an interesting year. This is the year of the world domination stuff. I had 6 in that series. Let me make a note of this. This was like ending from the previous year, but I really should review all my writing. This is the first year I made this Groundhog Day resolutions tracking form. This is 2010. I'd forgotten about this. This is probably worth sharing. To create exciting startup kits, it's the same color as my hat. I guess I like this color. Create packages. This was the recruiting strategy. I should copy this into Scrivener. Actually, how does this? Can I paste a link in here? Link to document. New link. Okay, this is only. How can I insert an image linked to document? I guess I can't link to things on the internet. I thought I could. I'm surprised I can actually. Link to file. That's a file. Image from file. Let's file again. What's the difference between image and file and image linked to file? I just must embed it. No image documents. Oh, can I actually make an image document? How do I do that? Add. Ah. This is what? Groundhog or GHD 2010? 10 form. Ooh. Oh. Oh. That is fascinating. Link to document, research. Oh. No, that doesn't actually do anything. Insert image, link to document. Oh. Me like. All right, so back to 2010. I'm not even in the right place yet. I remember this. These were actually kind of cool. Not a way to make money, though. Nope, nope, nope. Those, all right. I should reuse this graphic. Summary. It's time for being a lazy yet practical person. Every year I wait till Groundhog Day to make my yearly resolutions. I admit achieving, as opposed to merely iterating my resolutions, has produced spotty results. This is partly due to the awareness of my choices and resolutions have been far too broad. Memory of running out the disappointments. Do the memory? What is the... Oh, the... that's the poor associations. I was noticing that I wasn't accomplishing anything. 3 years, 3 data points. Journal regular review has conspired to get me in the state of mind I am in today. It's time to build. What is a resolution? That's probably worth noting. Go back to this. I recapped it. This is good to know. "2010 is about leadership and making a financial vehicle to see me to the end." Alright, the Google Wave with Colleen. I should see how Colleen's up to. It's been a while since I've talked to Colleen. Colleen is, let's look at her, see if she has her website still going. Communicatrix.com. It exists. Colleen Wainwright, yay. Oh, it looks like she hasn't updated in a while. She's on Twitter, though. She did this cool, for her 50th birthday, she did all this awesome stuff. Raised $50,000 for charity, so forth. Excellent writer. But I guess we've all kind of fallen out of the blog world. Is she... on Instagram, probably? I think I'm following her on that. No, okay, here we go. Ooh, what's... When's the last thing? Does she have a dog now? This is from January 18th, so she's active here. I am following her. Yes. And I don't think I've seen her Pinterest, though. Oh, she still shaves her head. I'm going to say hi. At some point. Let's see. There needs to be a lot more, wait, this is the process. I'm going to post this in link dump. Actually, I'll put this in my studio chat. Live streaming my Groundhog Day Resolutions 2018 process. Came across an interesting write-up about how I designed resolutions. Might be interesting for people to follow, to compare with, compare with their own process. I had forgotten I wrote that. In fact, I've forgotten what most of the things I've written about on my blog. Mind map, overwhelming in a sense. So Jackie's doing hers too. and making a big list of stuff. In the chat, people are working, chugging away at Groundhog Day resolutions. How long has it been? On the live stream, this is an hour and a half into doing my New Year's resolutions. 90 men in. So, okay, so getting back to this. You noted that. I forgot it was in 2010. Where was I again? Scrivener. Still no dropped frames. Amazing. That was the 2020. So what is the resolution? I wrote all these things down. I made this form to go with it. Did I actually write down what the goal was? 2010? Is it this one? Resolutions of year past. Did I put this down? So what is a resolution? I should just put it right here. Resolutions of years past. That's the quick recap. I actually haven't read it though. The way I interpreted my past resolutions is making money from what I love, create a sustainable social network, and sell a product. However, one thing that did come out at the end was a master resolution. Seek truth and make it visible to others. 2009. Okay. Weary of the process. I didn't even start resolutions until April. Oh, really? I didn't look at the April one. But the two resolutions were restatements of 2007. Be involved with dreams that are larger than myself. To an extent, I still have that insight. And then communicate, create tangible new things, be involved in other people's dreams that are larger than yourself with people I like and respect. Then some external principles, just do and just be. Remove these because I think I've internalized those. Finding the balance is always a continual problem. The world domination articles I need to revisit. And so what were the 2010 resolutions? And I chose 4 goals, and then there's these operating principles. Okay. This is the one. Alright, on to 2011. It's taken forever, isn't it? I haven't even started doing the actual reading yet. 2010. How are people doing? Anyone out there working on any of their New Year's resolutions? Okay, summary. I can stand up for a second. Oh. Zoop. Oops, I just broke us. Damn it. What the hell did I just do? No. Alright, so it looks like I reused some copy from previous year. I think I just looked at this. This looks very awfully familiar. Yeah, I just looked at this. Did I just do 2010? Yeah, I'm on 2011. Duh. Did use the same picture again. Ahoy hoy! Happy Groundhog Day. This is the day I traditionally do my New Year's resolutions. Effective dates. A few things that change to review activity. One needs to have a peer group you talk with. 2 kinds of breaks. The mid-year I'm sick of thinking about. Why? Because it's summer in New England. That's last 3 months are focused on finishing. That's true. The real trick is to define goals that are achievable. I tend to like to think in broad, artistic strokes of the brush when it comes to my big goals, which doesn't lead to measurable progress. Interesting, I'm thinking about getting away from that again. Oh, here's a nice table. What was this last year one? Okay. That's another good summary. Oh, that's not good. Ah, actually, I'm surprised that the table actually worked. Crap. No! No, this is all fucked up. This is... why can't anyone write a decent, rich... I can't even delete that letter now. These assholes. This is why I stopped using Scrivener, because of this janky rich text editor. This is the new version, too. Ugh. Why can't people write a decent rich text editor? Oh, Jesus. To be fair, I am pasting HTML. To be a little bit less generous, it is 2018. But surely people have noticed that this is not cool. Alright, so life balance has been on my mind a lot. This is the year we tried to make an iPhone app. But it was difficult because it's not easy to make a life balance app. People tend to assume that if you make a simple interface, where you click on things, if it looks simple, then it's effective. That's so not true. You need to pick the right things to click on, and you need to model the activity to the point in which those meaningful core elements do a whole lot with a very little. It's like finding the master key to something. That's not easy, and different people have different master keys. Let's see, life balance, doing meaningful work, and so again, this is a kind of a happiness criterion. Let's put this in. I can try to isolate those things that will lead to the feeling of balance. For me at this stage of my life, that's seeking satisfaction of 4 simultaneous objectives. Do meaningful work that I can feel good about, making the time to work on my own projects, being around people I enjoy and respect, not worrying about money. And cycles of productivity, super productive, super lazy, yeah. That all said, for 2011, let's look at the follow-up to this. Master resolutions, personal life principles, specific task accomplishment that reflect resolutions and principles. So I was going with a principle-based approach. Now we need to actually, that actually is the actual resolution from it. But now I need to go to this follow-up post here. Good thing I made these indexes. And I should probably put that in here too. This was 2011, was it? 2011. Let's insert. Follow up. It's already open. Look, I have the missing title on this one too. What is it with... This may have been screwed up by... some WordPress plugins screw up. I wonder if this is one of the posts that have been converted out of Markdown to... Yeah, this is fucking Jetpack. Or it's... Yeah, this is like, it destroyed all my Markdown for everything. God, it ruined it. Let's see. Reviewing last year's goal, they made a master goal sheet. Which was this, I think? That was that thing. I should make a note that I dropped it after 2 weeks. This master goal sheet was dropped after only 2 weeks. It's still 2011? Yep. I don't remember exciting startup kits. Oh, right. Did I actually say that? 2010. By... What is this? Janky formatting. Oh, it won't even let me... What the hell? Oh, this is terrible. People don't know how to write text editors anymore. Four areas of endeavor, 5 destinations. Is this tagged? I haven't done a lot of shit. Create sell packages on the web. These were strategies. These are actual. This is... Okay, that's a little bit more clear. There's all these destinations, 5 trade skills. This world domination thing is probably worth linking to. You should link to the actual diagram, and let's paste that into Scrivener. Add. How does this work? Add a web page. Oh, it looks like it's actually, it grabbed the cache. It didn't grab the actual image because its cache is broken now. Stupid. This should be in images. We can on the master view. Where'd it go? That didn't work. I get the URL wrong. It should go here. Images 09/12/80 1019 master vantage point of the world GIF. That's what happened. So Scrivener is too dumb to figure out that the links don't work and tell you about it. Master Vantage Point. 2010, was it? I think that's right. No, 2009. It still didn't work. Oh, there it goes. This interface sucks. I am so harsh on these guys. And that was from 2009. Link to... the way that they've... Oh, look at that. That's still there. Though I clearly deleted it. It has like these dangling references. You know, Scrivener is a great piece of... I like Scrivener's design, but there's so many little tiny things in it that make me think it's not really well engineered. You know, things like that, but to their credit, it's a usable piece of software. I don't know why this shrank, though. Let's see. Gilly says, uses a plain text editor for most things. Yeah, I do too, but to avoid this, Quiver app is more of a plain text editor, but I do like to maintain groups of files together and not have them litter all over the place. What I'm hoping to do with this format by using Scrivener is so I can just actually go into this mode and I can just kind of scroll down the whole thing, or go into card mode and then see and write a summary for each of these things. So this is what I like about it. Or just even like kind of drill down and do that. I'm filling these in just so I can do that, and then annotate a second document and pick up the patterns out of it. So I'm just exploring this right now to see. It's taking an awful long time, but I think it's necessary. Let's check in the chat room. True. Alright, so there's that. Firefly. I rewatched. Oh yeah, I remember this. This quote like really touched me. So in the Serenity movie, I think. Let's see. Cut down after half the season. I have a weird writing style in this paragraph. I use the word denouement. Captain Reynolds has explained the philosophical underpinnings of flying a spaceship properly to new co-pilot River. Reynolds, it ain't all buttons and charts, little albatross. Know what the first rule of flying is? Well, I suppose you do, since you already know what I'm about to say. River says, I do. But I'd like to hear you say it. Let's screw the formatting up in this block quote. Let's see if I'm going to fix this because I'm... Get that plugin ruined all the formatting. Those jerks. Here it looks fine, so maybe it's a theme thing. Good lord, what did it do? Actually, I can convert this back, I think, into legitimate markdown. At some point, I'll just go back to these and just mine all the ideas from it. And that would be the basis of some kind of book, I think. Here, that's a little bit better formatted. Love can know all the math in the verse, but take a boat in the air that you don't love, she'll shake you off just as sure as a turn in the world. Love keeps her in the air when she ought to fall down. Tell you she's hurtin' for she keens. Makes her a home. So the idea of love, passion, like something that you care about, I think was striking me. And then, what did I say? I had a clue that I was feeling a tremendous lack of love in my own writing last year. That's true. Tried to yank all the control lines of my plan while whipping myself into a productive frenzy. Didn't work. Let me spell it out. This I never proofread my own posts either. I had a dream in my 2010 Groundhog Day resolutions, but it was an empty one. It made sense from a functional perspective. It's great to have money and feel that you've put something grand into the world. But there had to be something more for it to work for me. Up until yesterday, I thought it was just one of those cases of deferred reward. We humans are tremendously bad at being motivated by a reward that's 2 years away. You can read more about this in Dan Goldberg's book, Stumbling on Happiness. I figured I could maybe game myself into action through improved task tracking, as I did with the form I experimented with last month. I don't remember what that form was. Oh, this thing. I forgot all about this. Was there a download for this? I don't remember this series. And again, a missing post title. Am I going to have to go and hand update all these things? This makes me want to quit out of WordPress. So annoying. Daily form. Prepping for 2011. Missing post title. Damn it, WordPress. I wonder if there's a cleanup plugin to go and check for missing stuff. Still, I'm just gonna go back and move everything out of the blog, or just hand clean up everything. It's gonna take months, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's worry about this. So let's see. I wrote a lot of crap on this. I dropped design as a direct offering this year, 2011, because I realized that the amount of time I wanted to put into doing design did not match up with people's expectations. They just wanted something that worked, or they just wanted something I'd done before. They didn't want to do the thinking. I mean, they appreciated the thinking, but either they were too busy to actually engage with me with the deep conversations that I wanted to have about it, or they were incapable of following the process. You know, it's like someone who can appreciate what goes into building something that's intricate, but really can't follow the internal structure or process about it. And I'm fine with that now. Now that I realize that that's a thing. And there's no need to feel bad about it or feel like, okay, I failed to connect on some level. It's my fault. But I think only now I'm really able to do it. Unless I realize I was possibly crazy. New guiding principles. I didn't want to be a pompous productivity expert. Excellence and awesomeness. Oh, that's right. This is the year I defined excellence, awesomeness, and persistence. And balancing these three big ideas. The goals are the same. That was Operation Acorn. I pretty much thought I did a follow-up for this. Oops. I'll reorganize this. Still the same. Persistence. This is the design compass. So these are things: excellence, awesomeness, persistence. I would rephrase persistence now as the pursuit of, I think I later called this the way of Dave. Doing things the right way, you know, trying to be a good person, trying to have resilience. So that was like a reframe year, I think. So, oh god, I'm starting to feel a little tired. I might have to take a break. Let's finish out 2012 though. Okay. Blah blah, I'm just explaining stuff. System life sustaining balance. Yeah, that was the year. I forgot that I had done that. The vision. This is why I started to be using more metrics, I think. All right. Was that 2012? Next steps. Mission outlook. Start of napping. Let's just see if what else I wrote in. Wait a moment. That went back, I think. Oops. Just looking at the reviews. See if I had written something else afterwards. Living single is a personal update to Happy Bubble Time 3, Happy Bubble Time 2. This is something I need to make note of. I forgot. I was trying to find the original Bubble Time article, but I should put this here. What year was that? Oops. This was 2012 February. Oops, wrong file. Oops, I keep doing that. Back to this. Nothing there. You love the manual, don't buy the product. I guess I didn't have anything else. Okay, let's see. Let's keep going and see. This was the year. Next steps. If only I was a little bit more. This is a. Oh, I should have. let's see. Let me go back here. I defined a bunch of number of income level metrics from, I think it goes $10, from 0 to, oops, month. I'm actually, no, I'm not actually at that level yet. I'm at level 12. That's profit per month. So now I'm making about $3,000 of revenue, but only 30% profit. So I'm about at level 9 or 10. Around level 9. Around level 9. I just didn't go up to 3,000. I need to go to level 24. I need level 24 to hit to be successful. These are passive income level. Actually, I don't think this is symmetric. I should redefine this. So this is the year of trying to use harder metrics than I had in the past, because I realized I was making these nebulous principled goals. So, alright, so it's time to take a break. Let's see. Lorg. Let's see if there's people watching. There's 4 people watching. Hi, 4 people. Working on Groundhog Day resolutions. About to take a break, because I should go and get some eye drops or something. But what am I going to take a break on? I'm going to take off my hat. And suddenly I'm bald again. Is the back of my hair all screwy? It's all bunching up now. Alright. At least this is still working. That's helping to balance out the lighting in here. Let's eat one of these choco nut things. Why don't we? Is this from the Philippines? Let's see where this is from. It says it's product of the Philippines. Contains roasted peanuts, cane sugar, milk powder, cocoa powder, and vanilla. Interesting. Not a lot of cocoa powder in it. Doesn't really taste like chocolate either. It's just gonna fall apart too. It reminds me of another candy. What is it that I'm thinking of? Like a skull bar. Except less caramelly. You really need to eat these on the plate because they're so dusty. Oops, I just pressed the wrong button. So I am going to, I guess, make some coffee. Let's move around here. Let me see if the what's it called? I can't think. The GoPro is over there taking time-lapse pictures of that cushion expanding. I don't know if it's going to run out of battery though. I'm looking at this now. Low battery. Great. I probably now need to try to plug that into something so it doesn't run out. But I actually don't think I'll be able to do it. So, you know what? That's just going to have to go low battery. There is some way of powering this thing. How does it take so much energy? If I touch it, it's going to probably just get ruined. Well, we don't want to move the tripod either. It's going to wreck my nails. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Dom, I don't think this is going to work. Yeah. I'll just let it run out of juice, and we'll see what we get. If we can even see it move at all, that would be the thing to do. So yeah, so there is a way to power those things, and I actually have a plug for it somewhere. But it doesn't expose it because it's all like sealed. I had to take it apart and open up a door or something like that. Piece of junk. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. Let me put on the break thing. I'm going to go over to the kitchen. I'll actually move the camera so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, so I am going to go figure out if there's something to eat. Oh, I can make a chicken pot pie for dinner. Or heat one up. So I'm making some progress on Groundhog Day resolutions, at least like reviewing stuff. What I'm hoping is I'll get some kind of insight into what I want to do this year. I guess it's technically not necessary, but I only have another 4 years to review. Then I can actually do the analysis. It might be a good time to take a break. I'll talk through this as I'm preparing the oven for this. Okay, so this is a creamy Parmesan chicken pot pie from Marie Callender. Yes, I did. I did get a pot pie. I think it's because of you, Courtney. You had mentioned this brand, I think.
That's the one I have in my freezer right now.
This very one?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Well, at least that version, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I want for flakier crust, conventional oven. Preheat oven to 400 degrees. Remove pot pie from the outer carton.
Make sure to put the foil around the edges or it'll get burnt.
I like it burnt, so I've been doing it without it. For 63 to 65 minutes.
I know, it takes a long time.
Yeah. All right, well, at least it'll be something to look forward to. So if I could try to finish my Groundhog Day resolutions in an hour, which is not going to happen, but I can dream, right? Then you will get to eat a delicious chicken pot pie. Yeah, it's probably good. Oh, you know, yesterday I was taste testing burritos. I got 4 different ones, and now I ate them all. And the takeaway from that is that I probably could make a better burrito. If I could just get the flour tortillas and I make a better filling of it. It's not so terrible. They all tasted approximately the same. From the cheap supermarket ones to the expensive organic one. It was like between I think $1.50 or 99 cents up to like $2.75 for a frozen burrito. I don't know. Let me preheat the oven, 400 degrees. Actually, before I continue reviewing past Groundhog Day resolutions, I might just consider how to do this year. Let me just kind of jump ahead and think about what I want for this year. The point of doing Groundhog Day resolutions is to give myself some focus and have some hope of exercising my executive function, the ability to, I think, do things on purpose. However, I know I'm more productive when I'm not doing things on purpose. You know, it's like that structured procrastination thing. Yeah, someone did. Oh, I just heard the beep, beep, beep. That was probably the GoPro dying. Unless it was coming from the chat. I don't know. But, what do I want to focus on this year? What do I want to get done? I was feeling depressed because this is the 12th year of doing the Groundhog Day resolutions, and it seems like nothing had moved. The impression was I've had the same resolutions for the past 12 years, which is basically what did I say it was, to yeah. And then starting in 2007, it was these things: making stuff, building sustainable networks, and selling products. They're kind of the same. So what I want to be able to do is just, I keep coming back to this, but I keep exploring each year different ways to get myself to do it. Is this really 2008? So the goals were largely the same. But I totally want to create things. I mean, that is the key statement. So I'm trying to make the system work for me. Create a shop filled with things. This was only one resolution. I'm thinking out loud, thinking to myself. This was a review. So anyway, getting back to what I was thinking. What was I thinking? Oh, Kidley asks, you've improved on the networks thing because of Discord, right? Yeah, I think so. That's been a huge boon, being able to just set up that room finally. That came out of a suggestion that my friend Britt made. So Britt's a writer in Idaho, I believe. She was a professional content editor, strategist. I remember she got started, like she left a company she was working in 2006. I met her at South by Southwest. We've been friends since then. And since then, she's continually built her writing career into awesomeness. And now she also runs her family's 6th-generation potato farm, or something like that. And now she's running for public office. So it's cool. Like she's way more capable than me. So I asked her for some help. What the hell am I doing? What can give me some focus? And so she applied some editor strategist thinking for me. And one of the things that she suggested was trying to share a process with things. So I think it was last year or the year before that where I tried sharing the Groundhog Day resolutions process using a Google community, and when in Google Plus. And then when they ran that for a year, and then Google started dropping support for Google Plus, which is their way to just make things done and drop them. And then I shifted operations to the Discord chat room after that. And I didn't know if anyone would show up, but I think a lesson is if you're there consistently and you show up, then people happen. I don't know. But yeah, the Discord and plus the streaming thing, the ability to kind of connect all these things together has been really, really an engine for feeling that more things are coming into place. So that's a good component that I'm starting with. But when it comes down to my own personal productivity, am I making the things that I think I need to make? Am I pushing myself through the difficult challenges? Am I really doing that? Well, the network helps with that, certainly. And I can also help other people with that by just being positive about it. So really, what am I trying to say? Again, I'm trying to think about what this year's New Year Groundhog Day resolutions are going to be. I know my immediate resolution is to eat this pie. Doesn't smell that good frozen, but oh, I smell onions. Or it's freezer burned. It looks alright. I'm dropping crumbs on my keyboard now. That was a mistake. So, I guess 2 hours into the Groundhog Day resolution planning process, I am still not sure exactly where I'm going with this. I'm trying to review what I've done before, which is something I typically do with this, and correlate that with what I've learned last year, how I'm feeling right now, and then trying to pick something that seems like I can report on it every month. So I'm trying to develop a gut feeling for what to do this year. My gut feeling is like the network thing is working, so I'm going to continue to do that. The Discord chat room. The expansion of this space, my living room, into the living room cafe / studio. And that process started 3 years ago. It's only now we're getting to the place where I can have events, and the space is starting to be configured right, so I can have more public events and stuff like that. So that's good. It's nice to look back and see what has happened. That's good. What still hasn't happened is the sustainable income. Well, let me look back at the original resolutions again. So, where am I now on deriving income from writing and making stuff? I really don't make any money on writing at all. I make some, well, that's not exactly true. If I think of writing as my overall thinking process, this is how I do my consulting work. But this year is software development. I think I need to put a big push into that, because not only does it bring immediate money in, secondly, it teaches me how to build things, and so I can get finally into building software, which is another offering I can make, like more fancy versions of these forms. So this might be the year of me really putting on my developer hat and really nailing down some good practices, and see where that goes. Building sustainable social networks, I think I have that cracked. At least one that's working for me. The Discord chat room works. The continued sharing of things on Patreon, YouTube, and Discord, and the blog. And there's always things I can improve. Let's see, Kidilly is asking, what's the function of sharing process? So why share process? I just like doing it. It's like me liking cats. I don't know. There's no reason to like cats. They're kind of annoying, but I just do. I see a cat and my heart melts, and it just makes me happy. It's one of the few things that makes me unconditionally happy. There's no explaining it. There's no rational reason for liking cats. Sharing process is something that I just do, and when I'm able to share something with someone, and I see them light up, or it helps them, that makes me happy. It doesn't make me happy to like mug people and steal their money. I guess it would make some people feel powerful and good or something like that. It doesn't make me happy to be continually someone else's source of energy. But if I can put together a good nugget of something, or make a good recommendation, I can share it, I feel really, really good about that. And sharing process is a big part of it. Oh, hey, Paul. Paul Galliford says, sounds like The Resistance, the War of Art. Yes. Like I talk about The Resistance a lot. I really liked that book. Who recommended that to me? I think Colleen Wainwright recommended it to me. But yeah, so like getting over the resistance. But I think Groundhog Day resolutions for me for the past 11 years has been figuring out the precise nature of what that resistance is. I'm gonna go check on the oven for a second and put this pie in there. I guess I can use the I am off screen. So I'm heading over here to put this pie in the oven. In an hour, it will be ready to eat. So in an hour, I hope to have made appreciable progress on defining what my Groundhog Day resolutions are. And then tomorrow I can get to writing the blog post and figuring out what tools that I might do for it. So, okay. Did I cut holes, pie? So I'm putting it in the oven now. Try not to burn myself. Setting the timer for an hour. Alright. But I am hungry now. I'm looking in the refrigerator and I'm seeing nothing. Sad, sad, sad. You know, as a punishment, or punishment / good thing for myself, I will drink some fruit juice. Or, actually, this is vegetable juice, which I really hate. This is low sodium garden patch from Trader Joe's. I'm probably going to hate it. So let's see if that comes to pass. I should put my hat back on. Nice. I'll get back to writing in this thing. How come this is like all the way over here? I guess it moved. Is it spoiled? No. It smells like tomatoes. Ugh. Yuck. I don't know if I'm going to like this. This is supposed to be color of rust? You know, that's not so bad. I thought it was going to be terrible. I used to hate V8, the tomato juice stuff. It's kind of tangy and sweet. Maybe it's because I'm hungry. Alright, take it back. This is good. I knew it was going to taste weird. It's like drinking tomato soup. It's quite satisfying right now. Although I wish I had some crackers now. Alright. Now let me put this back in their fridge. And I'll be right back again. This is a little bit chilly here. Turn up the heat. I think I was expecting another package today too. And now I'm looking forward to this pot pie, so I'm actually feeling a little burst of energy. So that's kind of exciting. All right, I think we are ready to get back to the observing here. I probably should change the batteries in this belt pack too before they run out. They're good for generally about 6 hours or so. It's been at least 2, and I think I recorded yesterday. So switching back to this. Kitley says, I don't bother buying tomato juice soup. Heat up tomato juice. Huh. Is juice cheaper than soup? That's really interesting. I've never actually price compared tomato soup versus tomato juice. That wasn't bad. I'm surprised. I can make a grilled cheese sandwich to go with this. And that would be amazing. But I have a chicken pot pie. Let's put this hat back on, which I really like. Let me look for the seam. There is a seam, huh? If we put a sticker there. Alright, now I feel like I'm ready for stuff, but let me swap out the batteries for this so my audio will go away for a moment, but I will be right. Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. See if this works. It's picking up on Discord, it looks like. I think it's working. Yep, alright, that's working again. So, put these batteries back. Excuse me. Kiddly says, I don't know which is cheaper, tomato soup or tomato juice, but the juice has a dual function. Multitasking juice. I like the idea of that. I wonder what else can you get that has that function. Is there such a beverage as cream of mushroom beverage? But that's how that tastes cold. Is that what a bisque is? Or is that, there's like a, what's that cold soup? What's that called? A lobster bisque? Did I say that right? Today is a fun day of exciting words. Alright, back to Groundhog Day resolutions. Yeah, these resolutions won't resolve themselves. Or if I go with the rate I'm doing this, I might not be able to do it either. Just checking to see if my phone needs to be recharged. I'm going to do that now. Hey, kitty. Yeah, we can check in. Since the GoPro has ran out of juice, we'll check in on this thing. This is the new Auto Man thing. It's still fluffing up. I think it's going to take a while before it fills all the way up. It's still very loose. I'm hoping that this gets more firm. It's really nice, though. I really like it. I would say it's worth $99. Just the build quality for it. You know, I'm just noticing that one nice thing about this hat is it keeps my head warm, and I guess my head's cold all the time. I read somewhere that you lose 30% of your body heat through your head or something like that. But anyway, to recap, where are we in the Groundhog Day resolutions process? I should probably move this camera so it's a little bit closer to the top of the laptop, so it looks like I'm actually looking at people. Let's try that. I'm off screen. Hopefully everything doesn't fall over. Uh-oh. Did I break it? Yeah, actually a little bit more like I'm actually looking at people. It's like before I had this camera much higher. It's a little bit more straight on like this. Alright. Groundhog Day resolutions. Where are we? I was last looking at looks like Scrivener. That was the last one we filmed was 2012. Let's film the rest of these. 15, 16, 17. Oops. 2015. 2016. 2017. So I had to review 5 more years worth of stuff. 2012 was this. This is probably worth highlighting. And even if I don't end up using all these notes, this will be useful for, I think if I were to write a book, the easiest target would be to write a book on Groundhog Day resolutions, then going through all this stuff, because in hindsight, it's been an interesting journey. For me, anyway. I didn't think I'd be ready to write a book about it until I actually solved the problem. And the problem itself would be that I'm solving is like, how do I solve what it is I want to do with my life and how I want to live it? And some of the things I considered. That might be an interesting book for people. It'd be interesting for me to know what it was anyway. But yeah, I think maybe that's the offering that I do. And there could be cool forms in it with it too. So who knows? Maybe it'll be super awesome. Let's see. I am drawing a blank. 2013. This is where I should be writing in this notebook, because well, let me do that. So using a notebook though, I'll use a piece of paper, regular piece of paper, if I can find some, or I could use this notepad, which I guess might have been used for that for the past. Yes. All right. This is an Ampad clip top. Oops, wrong thing. Ampad clip top binder. I don't think they make these anymore, but it has basically has like this plastic hinge thing that will hold this pre-punched paper in place, and it's tear off. I don't think they make this pad anymore, but it's like for a while I was using this pad as my daily to-do thing. But I am going to use it now for a continuity pad. And a continuity pad, it's just like a term I just made up, is where I'm literally writing down what I'm working on. So, in this case, it's look at year, I already forgot the year, was it 2013? See, I'm terrible at this. Let me look at the... how did they break this? They managed to break this view thing here. Oh, I can't even click it now. It used to be when you would use the middle mouse button, it would show you all the apps that were available. Or maybe it never did. 2013. So literally what I just wrote down here in my this notepad is look at year 2013. So when I'm doing complicated stuff and I'm prone to distraction, what I end up doing is writing the steps of it so I can remember. And for some reason, doing this really just helps focus. So 2013. So when next time I have a spaz, I say, what was I looking at? After I go on a tangent, I'll just look at that. Oh, right, looking at year 2013. That brings me back right away. So anyway, let's go back to the screen. 2013, yes. Looking at 2013, which is here. Let's see what the kickoff was. Why don't we? Let's close the other windows. Oh, this is the year that Brad... I should bring this picture back. I forgot about this. My friend Brad Fitzpatrick is a cartoonist, illustrator in Maine. We used to work together in 2000 something. And like he made me these groundhogs that he instantly put in his clip art collection, which he sells. I should see if he can make some more for me. So I had used them for a while, but I forgot I had them actually. Groundhog resolutions, pattern is terrible, executing, defining them well enough. This is worth re-noting. It's like every year I do the review of what I thought I was doing, which I guess I'm doing now anyway. And every year it gets longer because there's more stuff to look at. The pattern was I was terrible at executing my resolutions. I make a purpley text here, just because I want that to stand off. Concrete goals, measured with hard numbers. There's a pattern. This is a common pattern that I noticed. How come I can't do that? It's going to make me choose every time. Go back. No, these are not traditional resolutions, which ideally have measurable targets, e.g. lose 20 pounds. So I can assess how successful you are. I think what I did was perhaps more fundamental. I inadvertently used the goal-setting activity as a vehicle toward achieving resoluteness. Really? Today, having failed at a lot of previous Groundhog Day resolution goals, I am more confident about the path I am on because I know what did and didn't work. Now, having taken a mental inventory of what remains important to me, I'm more secure in my desires and motivated to build some real machinery to move them forward. Groundhog Day resolutions have shown me, much as Bill Murray's character experience showed him in the Groundhog Day movie, that aggressive driving for a worthwhile goal tends to fail unless an underlying foundation is aligned to support it. But when it comes together, it is natural. I think that's true. What else did I say? I'm not sure. This is not great writing. I'm not really being clear about it. There are multiple paths to success. can be the middleman buying low. You can start yourself as a supply train. My way. You can see I'm trying to push for some kind of point to all of this. And I can tell that, or I'm thinking that because I'm looking at the way this is written. The way this is written is very surface. This is not really about deep insights. This is about me putting a happy face on it. At least that's how I feel about it. I'm sure I was very sincere when I wrote it, but as far as like if I can rate the levels of insights, like how powerful they feel or how deep they feel, I don't think this was one of them that was really heartfelt. But then again, this was 2013, and I'd done 7 years of these, 8 years of these. I think this, which is, let me look. I had done enough of them. Yeah, this is like after the year of failure last year. Yeah, this is like important. I actually need to get the stuff out of this post because that's important shit. I failed to succeed. Sense of satisfaction. This was the Dave Say way thing. Okay. This is from Failure series. It smells something burning. Let me just make sure I didn't put the oven up too high a temperature. It was 400 degrees, right? 400? Yeah, that's right. I will trust the process. Hopefully I will not be burned on this. Aren't wireless microphones great? So anyway, this is from the Failure series. And I need to pull out some... I'm making sure I'll put some... yeah, why can't you select? Anyways, I'm pasting in some different text styles to get around the crap. Rich text editor. I understand that editors these days are using a different kind of model now for representing text. It's from the Failure series. I want to put this up. Well, I can leave it there. That was this. I go back. Can I do links of this? Append, set selected, link to document. I guess it doesn't like you to do... Well, here's a link. How do I paste that in? Scrivener doesn't let me do it. This is mysterious. Set selected, link to document. How do I just link this thing on the internet? Set select the text as title. Look up. Share services. Why is this so difficult? Are you missing some tool up here that does it? Doesn't look like it. Ugh. insert hyperlink in Scrivener. Links. It's 2010, inserting images. Automatic links. You can already add a hyperlink to text link. This is from 2005 though. Is there a text menu? I don't see one. Insert image from file, image link to file, footnote, break, horizontal auto number, current dive view, navigate, media, move focus, project, documents, format. I don't see it. Did they take it out? How come I can't just add a link, a hyperlink within a document that opens up something? How did I even do it before with the regular stuff? I actually had to add it. Add web page. Maybe it works. So I want to link to document, research. But you can clearly just paste the HTML in there and it does it. It doesn't let you fucking do it automatically. Oh, what's this? Edit link? Okay, so how the hell did this happen? Copy, type, paste. Why is it so difficult? Is there something called link? There's link to document. There's new link. You can't actually type in anything unless I just missed it. Why is it so difficult? They're here, you're allowed to do it. Edit link. How the fuck? Add a hypertext link to text to Scrivener. How? Links. Where is edit link? Junk. Or is it up here? Edit. Maybe it's this. Ah! It's just on the right click menu option thing. Is there like a way of adding that to the context menu? Dragging and dropping. Sharing. Oh, okay. Alright, so I theoretically know how to do that now. I can stop my belly aching. For the failure series, where was I before? I'm on 2013. Then I came to this idea with the establishing additional metrics I can use to evaluate my quest for satisfaction. These were the goals for then. 2013. The Dave Say way. My overarching goal is to do this. Authorship. Ugh, it's terrible typography. That work needs purpose. To continue to pursue meaning in my work. If I don't get that notional payoff, 2 main goals. Cat, do you want to jump up here? The overarching goal is to achieve personal independence through independent action. I guess this is the year I was really going for the creative independence thing. Anyway, so back to Groundhog Day resolutions. Tangible goals. There are multiple paths to success. Did they actually put this up there? Slightly more concrete terms. Tangible goal, new product and form every day. Epic efforts. This is the first this is the first big challenge one. This was the year of the first 30-day challenge. Which I can link. How? I can link it through, it was an investigation, it was the new product a day challenge. And that's probably worth linking in here. Add existing web page. Insert link to document. What happened to it? I guess it's not going to show the whole thing. That was notable. I wonder how that worked out. So I'm still looking at just the initial thinking for each one. So now we're on to 2014. I got a reminder that it was like just the goals. We're not trying to assess the effectiveness of every single one of these years. We just want the general goals. Because I don't want to look at I'm looking at the pattern of the goals. That's really what it is. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked on. Look, this one has the missing post title again. What is up with this? Missing post titles, WordPress. How does a WordPress plugin? Visual Page Builder. This is... Let's see, WordPress Post Cleaner plugin. Someone writes on that will just fix things. Oops. That doesn't look like I want. I'll just write my own plugin for it. Where are we? Updating this. Oh, I already updated it. Values versus yearnings concept. Alright, so, time again for Groundhog Day resolutions. Last year I was depressed. I've worked through it. What did I work through? Page not found! No! What? I guess I can just scan backwards and see. I'm not going to worry about it now. Building on past. Okay, this is important though. Refine the factory style. Alright. Factory style business model. This is when I started thinking about things like the gathering style. Creative independence became a key term. I was not living up to the potential of the machine, which made me feel like shit. And really, does it have to? Probably not. Okay, let's grab this. Oops. Alright, what else did I say? Assess the machine. Where the machine is breaking in run 3, 8, and 9. 1. I have an idea that people like, describes the idea. 8. Uses profits. 9. Actually, I kind of do this now. Hire someone, keep the faith and carry on. Redesign the machine. That's what I'm kind of doing now. What? This is still has these lingering broken paragraph things. Everything should just be marked down. If I put it into the editor like this, it should clean up all the problems, but it fucks up all the rest of the formatting. Oh. Redesign the machine. Recognize. These are things I want for recognition. That idea of authorship is important. Satisfying a level of mastery. Mastery becomes an increasing theme in later years. 2 main problems to address for this year's GHDRs. Confining structure. Initiating first steps. That's worth noting too. This is about getting started. That's always been a problem. More first steps, less planning. Oops. Develop these 3 areas. For our first steps, let's plan. Getting rid of excess structure is what I want to work with in 2014. Getting the creative independent structures I have developed, which were based on factory production and project management principles, were supposed to help me be more productive. In hindsight, they were good for helping me pre-visualize how the system would work, but they were not so good for motivating me. Structure is a terrible manager in that respect. I'm going to purple that text that. As with any adventure, attitude adjustment, how this is say we're in return, just going to make as many first steps as possible. Develop these 3 areas. Actually interesting. You can see how these are similar to what I'm already thinking about doing. It comes back to these themes. Sharing the interests. Well, these are different. This is always constant. Writing and deploying software applications. I can't think of anything that's more boring than that. Creating better marketing content for existing products. That's also so boring. But if I can convert it into the sharing interest thing, maybe that would be the way to do it. What did I do for the review over the end of the year? There were some things made. I did a thing-a-day thing. I should link to that page too. Let's see. So here, I guess I need to find it first. A thing-a-day. November thing-a-day making challenge. That was this one. 30 days of making things. It was 2014 when I tried to make these hardbound journals. Okay, so I need to add this to the project. Add web page. Okay. It's interesting how it captures them. This is 2013. This is 2014. So back to here. It was the 2014 thing day challenge. So insert link to document. Oops, link to link to document. That was actually, I really did like those 30-day challenges. So 2015, only a few of these left, and then we'll have only spent how many hours on this? Oops. What am I doing? Oops, I didn't want to do that. It's almost 3 hours now. 3 hours of reviewing 11 years of Groundhog Day resolutions and just grabbing the goals themselves and trying to remember what they mean. Yeah. The pain, the pain. But I think this is a helpful review. So now we're going to do 2015. Just the goals. Maybe some sort of weird reflection. When that chicken pot pie gonna be ready? I might after when I go eat. I probably will stop the stream and then restart it again. Let's see. 2015. Where is that? That's here. Updated for clarity in February. Oh, I just launched right into it and said, this year my overall goals are this. Boom. I kind of like being able to do that. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. Shake the room. Breaking into dependency on time. I'd forgotten I did that. Minimization of energy sapping possessions and responsibility. Full-time stationary business at the end of the year. That didn't happen. Find the will to create and share. That's always been a constant. Health and strength. Something I don't do so well on. Hey, Jess. Makes my plan to sit down with a pen and paper seem like it's missing the mark. Well, I don't know. I'm doing this because I'm not sure what the approach is going to be. So for you, Jess, that could be what you need to do. I started to do it with this, but I think it's been also in my mind just to do the review of the past 11 years, because year 12 seems like it could be an important year. Maybe I want to make it a special year. I could be fooling myself, but I won't know until after I'm done with it. So we'll just see what happens. So anyway, it's good to see Jess in the chat room. Let's see, desktop. So let me just see what I was meaning by this. Breaking the dependency on time. I said I found the year 2014 to be largely positive but difficult. I was fortunate to have regular project work for the entirety of the year, which means I was less stressed out about money. I splurged on a few ridiculous toys, like a $400 joystick throttle for computer gaming, which I've used exactly once. I should sell it. But it is a beautiful piece of hardware. I found my attention is entirely absorbed by work projects. Little remaining time to pursue other projects. This is true. This is still true. What was even worse was the baleful lack of interest I felt. I couldn't think of anything I would rather be doing. My curiosity and drive had pretty much dried up. We're okay to focus on getting through the work and eliminating as much responsibility as possible, cutting out housework and personal projects, feeling tired and uninspired. I chose minimum commitment as the coping strategy. It was a useful contrast to the usual standard of endeavoring to achieve maximum productivity and efficiency. It framed the dozens of little mental aches and pains I have from a reduction-oriented perspective, which is quite different than the production-oriented mindset I tend to have. For example, I'm very aware of the following personal proclivities. Making progress into a new endeavor always takes more time than I want, and I feel slow. I tend to feel time is stolen by other commitments. I like hoarding time. Yep, these thoughts are not out of place. Obsessed with time and negative feelings. This is the beginning. I'm going to make a note of this. 2014 is the beginning. This is the beginning. Get this lower. Is the beginning of taskless, timeless yearnings. Is the awareness of negative thoughts impacting my productivity. Just negative reactions, not negative emotions, like, oh, my life is pain, but like, oh, I don't like picking stuff off the floor. Reactions to trivial things. Created resistance. That's one way my resistance tends to come to the fore. Don't want to be obsessed with time. Mental blocks. Break the connection of self-worth. This is, embracing slowness. That was a good one. Let me make a note of that. Embracing slowness. Slowness. I don't think I did do blog posts about beating time. Being mindful of time turns out to be not such a good idea for me. Not thinking about time at all is better than being mindful about it. For me, anyway. I'm going to make a note. Not thinking about time It's greater than mindful of time. If you can arrange it so you don't have to be mindful about the time, I think that's better for certain kinds of creativity. This was like getting rid of junk. This is the year I read the Marie Kondo book. And also The Great Good Place, cafes, coffee shops, bookstores. Is this the year that it started the Living Room Cafe project? Full-time stationary business by the end of the year. Okay, that's all there. I smell that chicken pot pie. It smells delicious. Find the will to create and share. By 2014, or 2015 rather, I had started to... my peak blogging period was around 2006 to 2010 or 2011, and it started to taper off. By 2015, I think I dropped quite a bit. Certainly by 2016, 2017. For a while, I've only been doing the Groundhog Day resolution updates. I haven't been sharing my regular thoughts. I was really tired of listening to myself, I think. All right, I forgot all about this. Blogging has been rough this year. I was becoming highly aware that what I was writing about seemed to be stuff that I'd written about before, but figured I could keep writing perhaps less frequently, because new readers might stumble on the useful concept that way, but my heart wasn't quite in it. Then I received an email from an irate, long-time reader who told me I was writing the same garbage over and over again, and was also upset that I had not responded to an earlier request. While the letters themselves were, putting it kindly, blunt in their viewpoint, they hit me at a low moment when my psychic armor was already weak. I'm amazed that I'm even still thinking about it now, but it makes me sad because it's one of those unwinnable conversations. What is really amazing, though, is how it's torpedoed my usual desire to share what I've been thinking. Yeah, I've been holding this in for a long time, refusing to escalate negative feelings into a counterattack because I don't think that's how you solve communication issues. In fact, the readers solved the problem by closing communications and unsubscribing, which is probably the preferred resolution in this case. I don't remember who it was. No. I know the letters were not intended to have a bullying effect, and were intended as helpful criticism, and know that we should rise above such things and continue to do what we can to individually shine, even though we do not exactly know what we're doing. I'm surprised, though, that I am so vulnerable. I do think I have been rehashing the same thing. I even say that over and over again. I never claimed to be a guru. I never claimed to know what I was doing. All I'm doing is sharing what I'm thinking. And I think people who are looking for really nicely packaged words that are written to be true all the time, but not offer any of the messiness of dealing with this stuff, I think there's something inherently false, or maybe not intentionally false, but falsely optimistic. So I think the contribution that I can make, having spent all this time running all these thoughts that at the time I was writing them were disjointed, is that when I had the perspective to understand what they meant to me, finally, I can actually then do a very, very good breakdown of what each of those things meant, how I reacted to them, and how they might apply, or how they did apply to certain victory conditions and certain failure conditions. And it's all out there. This is all in the freaking blog as the raw material of experience. If there's anything I can feel good about it, it's that I've maintained it. And I'm not out to broaden audience appeal, but I do want to make something of substance that can contribute to the world. Anyway. I turned 47 back then. It's closer to 50 now. Now I'm on the other side of 50. Health and strength. I need to get back to that. Let me add that. Adding health and strength back as a habit is proving to be difficult. But maybe if I embrace slowness and this timeless taskless thing. The reason why I don't do the exercise is I feel I can't get away and spend the time doing it. Plus I don't particularly enjoy it. You know, but then there's other personal goals, like to get much more fit, much more slim, so I can fit into like better clothes and like look cool. As much as like maybe I could just get away with just having this hat. So what am I gonna do in this in the summertime? This hat is like really fits well. All my other hats are way too small. This one I can just doesn't like doesn't pinch. It actually covers my ears without feeling. The other ones always want to kind of creep up. Happiness is a new hat. This is, I think. Alright, so I think the rest of this here is worth copying in as well. These are, I have a few great cards. These are skills I had. Good diets in programming, I have a website, I have a working e-commerce business, network of friends and associates, I have the freedom to work at home, but I own outright and minus the home equity line I'm paying down. What I need to win a winning hand. And, you know, these are I think these are important to review. And Jess just asked, the hat is nice. Why, thank you. But I thought you liked the gym. I like the gym more than I thought I would. Once I'm there. What I haven't liked recently is like it's freezing outside and I don't want to leave the house. I have this weird resistance to socks. I don't like finding socks and putting them on, and that stops me from a whole host of things. It's dumb, I know. Once I'm at the gym, it's actually kind of nice, but I keep thinking that there's other things I want to do. It's the anxiety of like, you know, while I'm at the gym, I'm not working on these other things that might bring money or. And so this is one of the anxieties I need to get over. In fact, I should write that down in the on this thing. Health and strength. Get over. It's not a waste of time. So be able to incorporate it as maybe a kind of me time. One thing I like about going to the gym late at night, that's another thing, is a regular schedule necessary. Could be for recharging. Is a regular schedule necessary? Kelly says, I thought your dad's visit to Somerset just threw you out of the habit. It did, too. But I haven't gone back since then. It's been like 3 months, right? And I've been thinking I want to go back to the gym. I still want to lose the weight. I think about it every day. I don't know what's stopping me from doing it, though. It just doesn't happen, which is, I guess, part of the reason why I want to have a really good starting Groundhog Day resolutions. If I ever get to that point. So anyway, for the last, it seems that this is enough. I mean, there is a sense that there's a sense of guilt too, I feel, from having enough. And I don't think I should feel guilty. You know, but then nevertheless, that's where it is. And just adds, like, she says, I feel the same way, sadly, with the cold and other priorities. I hit the gym twice in January. Team need more motivation. Yeah. I wonder if there's a way that we can set up the chat room in which we're doing our gym stuff. I used to post pictures of the machines I was using at the gym just to show that I was actually there. And I would post it, I think, in either the Win channel or the chat channel. Let me just see if I can find it. Where is the Gym. Some people are going to the gym. So around 2017. Yeah, it would probably be in challenge. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the search actually works. Yeah, so I'd post these pictures of the minimum machine stuff. Yeah, but, like a lot of things for me, after a while start to see through the process as being a game. And I blame the game designer background. Once I see the game of it, then like it's easy for me to ignore. Down with guilt. Yeah, I know. I know guilt is useless. I have a tendency to feel survivor guilt. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder, guys. So I'm able to rationalize my way through the guilt, but maybe I need to vocalize it more. If I just feel it and let it sit inside, then you don't have the opportunity to deal with it in a rational, in the light manner. But I also don't like to complain. So maybe vocalizing / venting negative in a rational way is a way of combating it. It's a possibility. How do you guys deal with guilt? Do you ever feel it? Did I copy this in? Oops, where is it? Scrivener. Okay, that's where it was. I heard a clicking sound. Uh-oh. Anyway, that was 2015. 2016, we're getting to the end of this thing, and then I can finally look at everything and then come to some sort of conclusions about it. How long have we been doing this? Good Lord. It's 3 minutes and, or 3 hours and 15 minutes. 2016. What happened in 2016? I don't remember. At least we're getting to more recent ones. At least the title is showing on this one too. That's a nice picture of my Groundhog Day cup. Another year of Groundhog Day resolutions. This was the 10th year I did them. Oh, this is the year I tried to do a new thing a day. Every day. Until the end of Groundhog Day resolutions. This was an important insight. Speed as a metric of personal competency. These are still true. I'm still battling these. Strudel says, vocally venting I find is infinitely preferable to writing it down. Writing it down gives it some permanence. Yes, that's true. Maybe that's a good place for a good use of the chat room. Yeah, we can make one of the rooms so you show up, and if someone is in the venting room, then people can appear in it to hear the vent. I would provide some text that had to be read at the beginning of every vent. That reminds people that this is a venting room. In the venting room, nothing sticks. You're venting, and that little bit of stuff is you're just letting it out. That does not define you. It is not who you are. It is you in that moment, and it's gone the moment you release it. So don't remember anything they said. Don't try to fix the problem. Don't try to lead them down the path of resolution, because we're not in there for that. We're here to complain our heads off, get it off our chest, and then get on to our life. Resting assured that we aren't going to be judged for the rest of our lives because we said the F word 10 times in a row and that we're terrible people or whatever. It's important to be able to reset on people like that. And I don't think it's not something that people always know. Your best friends know that when you're blowing off steam. And that they're not going to go like, oh, I should be concerned now because maybe that person's unstable and or whatever. The oven just went off. I'm just gonna turn off the heat so that pie doesn't overheat. I'm sure it's done, and then I am gonna finish out these years. And then I'm going to take a break and then come back to the actual writing part for Groundhog Day resolutions, and hopefully that'll be the exciting part. Or not. We'll see. Paul says, yeah, what Strudel said. I was thinking that. Cross the guild out and look forward. There's so many wise people in the chat room today. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. This was an important realization, too. The rewards I deeply crave are on the other side of uncertainty. That's something that everyone needs to know. Oops. Speed takes a lot of time. These are all still valid irritations. I'm building these, so negative reactions discourage me from starting. Hard lesson of the year. Rewards I deeply crave are on the other side of time and uncertainty. 2016, I'm embracing. And that really is one of the key insights for that year. This year's goals. What were the 3 goals? Neat side business. Oh, God, Lord, yeah. This did not work at all. There were 3 goals. Oh, hindsight. Neat side business. That really is the same as all the other ones. This sort of worked, but it didn't. Sharing what I love, that was when I was starting to recapture that. They are wise because they're from the future. Go, Southern Hemisphere. Yeah, all these like wise people on the other side of the world right now. Our future better selves. What happened to my there we go. Oops, what happened? Did I accidentally erase that? Yeah. What's that? I must have put Command V by accident. Blah, 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 blah. And here's the shocking thing. The Thing-A-Day challenge. That was disaster. I should make a lot of these pages too. How do I do that again? The Thing-A-Day challenge. Oh wait, that was not right. This one's not even a success. 10-year goals are gone? What happened? Investigations. Well, that's weird. I could have sworn there was a blog post about this. Maybe I renamed it. This was it. I probably should fix that original post. No, that's right. Didn't this go anywhere? Or not? Alright, we need to edit this. At least it's back in Markdown. Thanks for not screwing it up. So this was... It's not, I don't think that was the original intention of that link. Thing a day challenge. I should change this link too, because there was a different one. That makes it look like I was successful. There was a... I don't see it. Did I not put this all in one place? Oh yeah, this is it. I think a day challenge for the duration of GDHR. I guess we'll just put this here. Think a day challenge. See this. Oops, wrong. Now that I have all the other websites off this, my main site, editing stuff in WordPress doesn't suck anymore. It's not slow. So I guess I ought to recopy this. Where was that? 2016. I was posting new things. And this utterly failed, if I recall. That was only... 2016 wasn't that long ago. Wait. What happened there? The challenge page. Yeah. I do want to add this to the list. So copy that. Add link to web page. And we'll link that in to 2016. Link to document. Where is it? Hey. This is the year I tried to do a thing a day for every day of Groundhog Day resolutions. And at some point, so I went actually from, actually this was not as much of a failure as I think it was. But I would say it was scattered. The only difference between this and what I do now is that I was writing blog posts about it every day. And that took way too much time. I think the way I'm doing it now, actually, I'm doing the live streams now, and I'm trying to get them down to 10, 15 minutes maximum. And that's kind of providing the review. It's nice to have the text, though, but I don't know, it's something to think about. Let me write that down here. 2016 GHDR a day. Not a failure? There were some positive things from it. Alright, so what else did I say in that year? That was the goals, pretty much. I think. At the end of it, I was just doing the reviews. So let's look at the final one just to see what I said. Last review, past month, I had the flu, bronchitis. Oh, I was streaming every day at 7:15 in the morning too. These were the goals. I made make some progress. Didn't make appreciable projects. Sharing for I love seemed to work. Oh, this is when I started virtual coworking. And 2016. Issues of the month. Still, there was that issue of balancing work and personal projects. Let's try to find a place to stick it here. Balancing work and personal. The malaise of starting new projects. There was kind of this idea of the acceptance of like a 4-hour work week. How many hours equals productive? I despise slow and steady projects. This was the year I got all these disco party lights, which I took down though. Once I have the living room reconfigured, it was actually fairly productive, I thought. Well, 2017, the last one that I can have my chicken pie. Kind of feeling a little bit nervous about it. I think it'd be worthwhile to review all of these at some point. So it looks like I was doing largely a thing a day until like April. So about a little bit over 3 months. And I think I suspended it at some point. Yeah, I was doing a lot of work then. It lasted about like, really about 3 or 4 months. What was this? This was the informal review. Is this thing still active? Alright, this is the original Groundhog Day Resolutions group before we had the Discord chat room. I haven't seen anyone from this in a while except for Jackie, who's in the room. And this is when we were doing the GHDRs together. Paul says, the thing-a-day challenge was very cool. Maybe you could just do a screenshot and comment instead of a whole post to save time. That's a good idea. Did you find that committing to the challenge helped be more productive? It did, but it burned me out. It took up so much space in my head that it was difficult to focus on anything else. Although, well, I think the issue with the challenge a day is I was thinking about what it was I could post, what is it I could create. And because they were heavyweight blog posts, it ended up being I couldn't focus on many other things. I think this was the year that I was getting really heavily into JavaScript development, and 26 was it 20? It might have been a year into it or 6 months into it, and I was absorbing a lot of new material that, frankly, didn't make a lot of sense because JavaScript is a shit language. At least it used to be. Now it's passable, but its initial design and some of the design decisions were clearly made by some toy maker who didn't really understand. I would say no, because the original language designer for JavaScript actually was quite capable, but they took a lot of concepts and made it look like Java because Java was hot at the time, and there's a lot of questionable little buggy things from JavaScript, the original version of it having been made so quickly that there was not a time to refine some of its underlying means of operations. So like dumb things like the scoping of variables and the way that global namespaces are handled. The inconsistency of the value of the this keyword, the terrible conventions used for I can't even think of it. It was bad. It only became viable to me after I read this book called JavaScript: The Good Parts, which confirmed that JavaScript was a terribly designed language when it started. But these were the really, really, really good parts that I've grown to like. Anyway, so I was in the middle of all that sort of stuff. But I like the idea of doing just a screenshot and a comment. And really, that's what people have time for these days, isn't it? The long form content isn't it? It's like, yeah, I'll take that and keep that in mind. Let me write that down. That's a great idea. Let's see. Paul suggests. I'm trying to remember what your name in the chat room is. Assuming that you're in there, Paul. Paul Galliford suggests just a picture and a comment. Let's comment for the thing a day. So then it becomes maybe another way of doing that. It is Reggie. Okay, so like when you were saying that you were from the future, I was thinking, I wonder if that's Reggie, but I didn't remember. Do we have it's anyway. So thanks for that suggestion. That was like a really good idea. Thing a day 2018. If I can provide some way of getting feedback from people, that would be good too. Or it could be the live streams that are thing a day, and each one is accompanied by a really quick post. Maybe writing shorter is the way to go. What do they call it? Micro content? Because I haven't really been in the mood to write long form pieces anyway. Those take a lot out of me. This Groundhog Day resolutions post is going to kill me. I already sense it. Let's see. I guess on to the last year, which is what? 2017. I had to look it up. God. 2017. I wonder if 2017 was a good year. I don't even remember. That was last year. Just closing these files. 2017. Was last year a good year? I can't remember. For those other people in the chat room, if you are... Actually, Reggie might not have access to it because... there is the audio stream voice room, but that one is only open to regulars and patrons. And it's a perk of being a regular. So the 11th year, I had done the recap. 2016, I had morphed into these. Both sets of goals, tangible, make money, pursuing. This is the year I was like trying something, the mind-blowing productive synergy. Hey, did someone pop in the chat room? Who is it? Hey, Reggie, you found it. So you can like speak to me directly. It will be on the stream though, so like if you burp or fart, people will know it was you. Can't hear your microphone is turned down. No, he just muted him. It's an easier way just to listen too.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, Reggie is a patron. Duh. Okay, good. Thank you for your support. Oh, Jess is saying you could also create a text template or post template that makes it just a bit easier to add. So that part's not hard. I have something called a duplicate post, which sets a lot of that stuff up. The templates aren't the problem. It's really figuring out what to write that day. But for the short-term one, I think that could work very well. It usually takes me a while to set it up. So for example, just kind of like to amplify on what Jess is saying, like the new thing a day template, like if I go to 2014 and I go to, let's say, this one, you can see like all the format is relatively the same. And what I would be doing in edit post, I would say, okay, I like the way this one looked. All I need to do is update this image, which is a Photoshop file, and I keep saving things from. And I have a plugin called Duplicate Post, which I can go over here and copy to a new draft, and this will create a copy of the existing one, and then just go and edit things out and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good idea. I am doing that too. It's also the same for our podcast, the one that I do with Sid. So each of these things, that's weird. Where is I'm not seeing the edit post here. May I actually go? Oh, because I'm on the page, right? So here we actually duplicate all the posts for this. So we go to all posts. You can see we have our feature podcast scheduled. The first one should have posted today. I'm not sure why it didn't go up. Oh, it is published. Why isn't it showing? Is it the cache? Or maybe it is there, I just didn't see it. But we can clone this and we can make a new one, so we have a standard format for this. So there's the beginning, then there's the show notes, and then there's this PowerPress thing, and then we can just update the existing like links for things like that. So that works out pretty well for that. But yeah, it's a good idea. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jess. Figured trying to mentally get you moving. That's perfectly fine for solving not your problem. Sometimes I find that solving other people's problems helps me solve my own problems or help me get motivated. And we're all friends in the chat room, so I'm taking it as positive energy. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I tried to be maybe a goal for 2018 is to. It stems from the four. What is that thing? I wrote about this thing. The four tenets of. Not tenets of Buddhism. That guy who wrote the. It's not tenets. It's the Four Agreements. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Kiddly. Yes, the one that I am always bad at is taking things too personally. So, there's a list of it. Where's the list? The first agreement. Let's just go into this. This is a good book too. I don't know how people watching this feel about these new agey kind of things. I just want a list of them, damn it. I think it's in Four Agreements Wikipedia. I think they list them there. It is the Four Agreements. I'm not sure if these. I guess there's some controversy whether or not like the background for the Four Agreements is really from ancient Toltec wisdom. But he is from Mexico. He attended medical school and became a surgeon. The Four Agreements are this. Published in 1997. Be impeccable with your word. I'm pretty good at that. I don't make promises I don't keep. I try not to say things that aren't true, blah, 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 blah. If I make a promise, I am pretty committed to it. If I, and so forth. Number 2, don't think anything personally. That's the one I have a hard time with. And I'm interpreting it rather broadly. I'm saying things when I take something personally, it can dwell from behavior from dwelling on something. Like, oh, that person said something mean about something, and so was they talking about me, or did I make her feel uncomfortable, or am I being lame? Maybe so me worrying about stuff like that, or like if someone tries to help me, for example. I don't like being helped by people. I recognize what it is. For what it is. I try to rationalize myself, but the initial reaction is like, I don't want to be helped because it's tied in with this old childhood belief that I'm incompetent and don't know what I'm doing because people tell me this. So I try to modulate it back to like, that they're not really trying to be mean or anything like this. What I can look for instead is whether or not I feel like I'm deliberately being manipulated. And I have a pretty good sense of when I'm deliberately being manipulated. If someone's doing something for appearances, or they backpedal for whatever reason because they realize that they've said something that they didn't intend to be taken that way, or I'm taking it, blah blah blah. You can see what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of going to spiral of thinking about it. But don't take things personally. And how do I break that? That might be something to consider for the 2018 Groundhog Day resolutions. I'm not going to do all of these things, I think. Oh, Kidderly says, I don't think things take personally enough. If you could expand on that, I would really be interested. Because it would be sort of the opposite mindset, I guess, that I lack from. I mean, I guess if I would interpret it, if you don't take things personally, then you kind of roll with everything. I mean, that sounds like really wonderful. I wish I could do that. I guess a way I do it is like I have for me not to take things personally, I've kind of turned it into an epic structure. Like, it didn't kill me, and it didn't get me fired from my job. If neither of those things happened, I think Tim Ferriss writes about this in some place, about when he talks about making decisions to do things. I look to see, is this likely to kill me, or is this likely to get fired from my job? If not, then I won't worry about it, because it has no real negative consequence for my life. But I still tend to, I guess, see things in awfully personal ways. I probably need to reflect upon it. I'm not sure I'm making any sense. And the last two of them is, don't make assumptions. I never make assumptions. I never even have them about myself. I never assume that my memory is correct, which is probably that's something, memory trust. I assume nothing. I always had to reconstruct everything from scratch. I also have to test my own beliefs with things. Like, am I saying what I really mean, or am I making up something? Am I not being true to myself? That's kind of tied in with number one, I guess. It drives me nuts when people make assumptions. Always do your best. That's probably the second weakest one. This is tied in with, I don't think I'm always doing enough. What is my best? Let's take a look at the 4 agreements. I'm just going to write that down. The 4 agreements review. If I can spell it. Agreements review. I have terrible handwriting these days. All right, so after that sidetrack, let's get back. That was a nice sidetrack, though. What happened? Did I lose my link? Okay. All right, this is getting to the end. Review, lack of energy, human connection, 2016, creative interdependence. This was an important insight. Let's see, let's paste this in and condense it down. Let's make a bunch of spaces, maintain the... That's important. Modified my definition to creative independence for creative interdependence. This kind of goes to sharing what I love. Okay. Somewhat successful sharing what I love. Virtual coworking, live streaming, real-time performance feedback. Didn't enjoy the process for its own sake. Patience. And not as long as I thought. That's why I started What's Up Dave at the end of 2016, I guess. Huh. Let me. Oh, we reframed my goals last year. Starting is my hardest problem. Reframe the general goals. Generate money from what I make. Again, this is a refinement from the very beginning. The strategic goal is the foundation of happiness. That's what I think will make me happy. My goal is to be happy. That's what it boils down to. Why didn't someone just tell me that 12 years ago? I wouldn't have believed them too. They might have been full of shit. Who knows? I kind of hate doing the hard work. Ingrained negative reaction. This was a key insight too. Copy that in. I think it's too much, but I kind of hate doing the hard work. Which is true. Certain circumstances make it possible. Or actually, this is more of the key statement. I have an ingrained negative reaction to doing any project that has more if you're going to start as my hardest problem. Let's see. It's two approaches: epic death mark to a C, and serendipitous opportunity. Approach number 2, productive procrastination. This is happy bubble time. There's a link to that. I think I put it back up here. Happy bubble time is where? This is the original one here. I don't know why it's 2. I guess I'll make it the same. Oh, how did I do this again? It was like edit, add link. Yay! I made a hyperlink in Scrivener. I'm not an idiot. Let's see. Oops, but that's a live approach. What did I mean by this? That's the live approach. That's the live stream. These are the succinct goals. Did I actually put that in there? Yeah. Mind-blowing productive synergy. I think that was a key insight, but you know, I'm not sure I actually followed up on that. I don't remember what it said. Oh, not being bored. That's a key element of not being productive. Make stuff that exists. I want to see stuff in the real world. Synergy. This is really about sharing. Same themes keep coming up, you know. It's an acceptance of what makes you feel alive. I don't think I did an end of 2017 review. Yeah, I didn't do that. At least I don't think so. Well, or did I? Let's see. What did I write it in the 2017 was the year I didn't spend I spent less time analyzing. Oh wait, no, that's not true. Report 9 from November. From last month, I desire waiting for something good to happen. Preliminary evaluation. 1 is where I've been underperforming. I am missing something here. There was something I wrote about. There is a. Why I'm missing something from this page too. That's weird. This page should be linked there. Why isn't it? Where'd it go? It's on this page, but it's not here. The plugin break? Why isn't this at the bottom of that? Oh, because I thought I was going to add more detail, probably. Okay, so we can update that. Oops, we want to add that page. Here. This is your challenge page. Synopsis. So if I look at the synopsis again, I actually wrote down what the directives were. That one didn't happen. And this is the list of accomplishments. This is the one we did OKRs in April. Thanks to Roberto for introducing those. I made a critical distinction between peer community and product marketplace. More radical approach, extensive self-analysis. I redrew the master vantage points. That's actually worth reviewing too. Master vantage points. How do I find that? Consider dropping the 2024 goals. Where was the master vantage point posts? That was this post. Yeah. Oops. Why is this so difficult? How did I do this again? I want to add, add a web page. So I don't want this image cached one. I want the original. Is that JPEG? That should be it. That's the old one. Where's the new one? Oh, it's here. And we want to do it again. Add. Oh, wait. I need to actually go get the image. How's that one? This is the interesting one. Did I do 3? No. So add web page. Okay. Oh shit. That's not the one I wanted. Move the trash. It's empty trash. Add web page. This has to be image cache images 17 1280 71. Okay. And let's rename these. Oops, this is in the wrong place. That's why it's looking weird. Oops. Wow. There we go. I didn't realize I could reorder these. Can I make a folder in this? New folder from selection. That's a nice feature, I would say. New folder for selection. Web. Everything's clean. Let's just paste those things in just to remind me that those are in there. Oh, so what I wanted to see an image. I guess I had to do it this way. Insert image link to document. Insert image link to document. All right, finally. Finally, I can go review the whole arc of things. Blarg. Alrighty. I am going to eat my chicken pot pie and take a break from this stuff at 6:30. Haven't done a lick of billable work today. But this has been on my mind for quite a while. Just closing files right now. I'll restart them again from scratch. You know, I really love this hat. I love this hat a lot. So Groundhog Day resolutions part 1 is over. I'm going to go eat something, and I'll stream later in the maybe around. Let me try setting a time around 6:30 now, 7:30. Let's say 7:30. I'll start again. I'll commit to that. So 7:30 p.m. we'll come back. I guess I should set a timer or something like that. Let me get my... Hey Siri! Set alarm for 7:30 p.m.
Okay, your 19:30 alarm is on.
Alright, so now I have no excuse. So I'll come back at 7:30 and we'll start to actually try to put together the patterns from here and construct what my goals for Groundhog Day resolutions are going to be for 2018. No idea how that's going to go, so wish me luck. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back at 7:30.